Yes, indeed. Congratulations, boys and girls, through making it another week when you're not dead. A very good morning to you. It's the weekend again, Saturday. Yes, it comes around, doesn't it? It's Saturday the 19th of September 2020. A warm welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom Talk, coming to you from the Chapel Hill Marina here in Lincolnshire. And as you saw on my little headline YouTube thumbnail this morning, boys and girls, buried alive. Now, this is one of the things that's bothered me for many, many years. Literally being buried alive, you know. Maybe they think that you're dead. I mean, how do these medical people know? Do they know? They can't even cure a common little virus, dear. Coronavirus. Oh, what do we do? What do we do? They don't know what to do. Don't know what to do. We can send a man to the moon. We're going to be sending men to Mars, maybe women as well. Who knows? Whoever wants to go. Mice, dogs, cats, goats. I think there's space for goats on the moon. You know, if there was any aliens there that we don't know about, because you don't know, they might be hiding. How do you know there's no aliens on Mars? They keep sending up these little robots, some of which fall over and are completely useless after billions of pounds spent sending damn things over there. And these little robots, they go around like that, don't they? As they're going across the Martian sand. And then they send back these signals. Oh, there are no Martians. There are no aliens on Mars. How do you know? And you're thinking to yourself, oh, it's all that technology. They're bound to know where. How do you know? You don't know that. Here's my question for you today. Do you know if you have or haven't got any spiders in your house? Exactly. You don't know. Every time I come here to the Lincolnshire Television Studio Complex, I worry. I don't know if there's any spiders in there. Exactly. Could be the same on Mars. And similarly, when you're dead, are you actually dead? You may be laying there in an hospital attached to machines. Boom, 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 boom. And then that thing comes, doesn't it? Like on Casualty. They get those things, you know. All right, so to that, they get those things and they peel off the sticky stuff, don't they? I mean, I'd be fuming if I was woken up like that with those things on my chest and they're laying there like that, aren't they? And they go, charge to what? I'm going to do it now. I'm going to do it now. You're going to love this. Right, I'm going to do it now. Charge to 150. And then that machine goes. That machine starts to... Stand clear. And then look at it. Charge to 200. Clear. Charge to 300. Clear. Well, we've been going now for 3 hours. Time of death, 8:48 a.m. Saturday the 19th of September 2020. Now, fortunately, at this present moment, as you can see, I haven't died. Just my career. It's only the career that died some years ago. But I am still sitting here But that machine says that, right? You can't talk. You're not detected as breathing. There's no brain, what's that called? Brain activity. There's a lot of brain activity here anyway, to be honest. There's no brain activity. But how do they actually know? The answer is they don't, because they're not dead. You are. Then you go in that little fridge thing, don't you? You go in a fridge. How do they know you're not cold in there? Why can't you have blankets? Why can't we have electric blankets when we're in those fridge things? Too cold for some people, isn't it? I don't like the idea of being stuck in a fridge. We could be propped up in front of a telly in case we wake up. You could have your selection of programmes that you yourself has chosen. I wonder how many people will choose to watch Gemma Collins. Probably not many. I would imagine many people will want to watch Gemma Collins while they're sitting there dead. which is most of the audience that watch her anyway, dead. You don't know you're dead. They think you are, you don't know. And here it comes. When you're in your coffin, whatever way you're going to be buried, I'll of course have the full Catholic funeral, 5 hours long, with hymns that go on for hours and hours and hours. People will be forced to stand up, sit down, at my convenience. We'll have a whole choir full of various people not turning up in their normal clothes. They'll all have uniforms on, a bit like Whoopi Goldberg. And that what's that called? That film called Sister Act. We'll have a choir like that, girls and boys singing there. And then it comes to bringing me into the church. Oh yes, we're gonna have 8 fit lads carrying me in, right about 25 to 35 years old. Yeah. Yes, that's what we're going to have, carrying me in. Beautiful lads carrying me into the church. That's what we need. I don't know. I'll have to check that out with the priest first to see how he feels about it. He'll probably be able to provide some, to be honest. But yes, I think that's what the idea will be there. Yeah, that's what I'm having. But what if you're not actually dead? Well, I hope I'm not, because I want to see those boys carrying me into the church. Thank you very much. But what if you're not dead? So the service goes on. 5 to 10 hours later, I might do an extended Catholic service, you see. You know, while you're sitting there wondering when the buffet's going to happen. After singing the 12th verse of Immaculate Mary. Immaculate Mary, our hearts are on fire. While you're sitting there thinking to yourself, or standing there singing it, while you're standing there singing that verse, wondering when the end of the hymn is going to come as we go for a second round. I could be scratching away and you wouldn't hear it because the organ will be loud. We're not having no little old dear on there, you know. No. That organ will be at full power, boys and girls. We're not having a piddly little organ there and some old bag who hits the wrong notes and does... do you think it's a bit loud? Turn it up, dear. Turn it up. You won't be able to hear the scratching on the box, will you? Buried alive. It's a worry. In the Daily Mirror this morning, here comes the story. I know I've been chatting for a little bit. I'm going to get straight onto the story sometimes. Here is the horrifying moment. A man was buried alive. Here it is. You saw the picture already, just in case you didn't. There you go. A man has been buried alive. Wait for it. For 3 minutes under a pile of gravel. Oh, it wasn't too bad after all, was it? Frightening enough, though. You can suffocate in 3 minutes. Yes, you can. If someone, you know when someone does that proper kissing on you, you're trying to push them back, dear. Back! You're trying to push them back off your face, aren't you? And they're still at it. Like that. You could suffocate. You could absolutely suffocate under that kiss. Unless you breathe through their nose. Have you done that before? You know, when you're kissing someone and your mouths are kind of... There's an air suction between the two mouths and you can breathe through their nose. I've tried that one. It's quite nice. You know. Like that. Have you done that one? Yeah, George Bond, you should try that with that girl you're going out with. What's her name again? I can't remember now what her name is. It says, in the Daily Mirror, here's the horrifying moment. A man was buried alive for 3 minutes under a pile of gravel. The man was completely engulfed from head to toe after a truck driver accidentally tipped the gravel at a construction site in Nairobi, Kenya, unaware he was standing directly behind it. Another one who don't look behind him before he knows where he's going. A little bit like my nephew driving his car. Smashed up the back of my car once because he didn't look where he was going backwards. Funny that. All the alarms going off. Beep, 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 beep. Indicating there's something about... Oh, is there something behind me? Probably not. The alarms must be lying. Bang! Dented rear. Colleagues battled for 3 minutes to try and pull the man from the gravel. During the incident on Tuesday, one man grabbed his legs. I can only dream of having my legs grabbed again at some point in my life. One man grabbed his legs, which were sticking out of the gravel mound, while others used spades to get to him. I always find it very difficult to dig a hole, don't you, in the garden or something like that. I can't be bothered. I don't know how some of these blokes, they put up fence posts, don't they? And what do they have to do to that? Dig enormous, great, big, dirty holes. That's hard work, that is. Digging holes. Especially if there's stones. Shocking footage shows the unconscious man being pulled away from the gravel before he finally came around after having first aid treatment and CPR. Is that thing? Those nurses look ever so tired after they've had a go like that, don't they? Geography teacher who filmed the footage said the team was transporting the gravel to a construction site where they're probably building a new BBC television studio for me to head in Nairobi and Kenya. To a construction site where the driver of the tipper lowered the material without knowing that one of them was behind it. The victim was buried from the head, and for more than 3 minutes, all around those struggled to remove him from the material. Well, it's a good job he was liked, isn't it? I would have just left him there, half these people. You could have just got rid of him like that, couldn't you? Just leave him there. Oh, it was an accident. Like there was an accident on last night's EastEnders. Did you see that? Accident, I say. It goes on to say, I was shocked too, but decided to take the video instead. Wonderful. Who needs friends, enemies when you've got friends like that? He decided to take the video instead of help. Well, at least we got to see it. After a while, he was removed and we conducted first aid on him. He finally regained his consciousness by God's grace. Oh, someone must have said prayers. Well, he was lucky, weren't he? Imagine that, being buried alive. An accident. I saw an accident last night on EastEnders. Boom, 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 bum, 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 bum. It must have been serious last night because there was no music at the end. Now, I don't watch EastEnders or Coronation Street, none of those. Don't watch any of those. Home and Away. You and me belong together. How can anyone be that beautiful? All the girls and boys in there, perfect fit bodies similar to my own. I could be on Home and Away. Or Neighbours, or in Germany, Nachbar. I think it's called Nachbar in Germany. Neighbours. Everybody needs good neighbours. They do. And if you've got bad neighbours, I feel sorry for you. Beautiful bodies on there they have, don't they, eh? Now, where was I going with that one? Oh, yes, EastEnders. So it was on round my nephew's house. I popped round to my nephew's house last night. I was invited over for dinner. Very nice as well. Sausages. I had sausages and vegetables and potatoes and ice cream. And the best moment of all it, great niece Evie's homemade cookies. Oh, and she's very proud of them, and so she should be. Best cookies I've ever had in my entire sad, lonely, pathetic life. Evie's homemade cookies. She had 2, greedy cow. I only had 1. And a bit of ice cream to finish with. Very tasty indeed. Couldn't move after I left the house. I was around there last night. Nephew Gary likes to watch EastEnders. Boom! Oh, I've done that already, you know. Do you want the tune twice? Okay, then. And in EastEnders last night, some old bag falls. She's having some sort of row with her boyfriend. I don't know what the storyline is because I don't watch it. But she trips over and falls back on the dishwasher with a knife sticking up like that. Yes. And it's funny, actually, because my nephew, right at the beginning of the programme, him and her, not my nephew and his wife, although it could have been, to be honest, I'll be honest with you. No, but him and her were rowing in the kitchen. Looks like she's been with someone else or whatever. I don't know. Don't know what the story is. And within 30 seconds of watching this, my nephew said to his Mrs. Stacey, who cooked my dinner last night, thank you very much. Did you spot the knife in the dishwasher pointing upwards? He spotted that straight away, right at the beginning of the programme. And then half an hour later, or whatever it was, she's fallen over backwards on it, on the knife. And she's done that, you know, that coughing noise that they do when they've been stabbed. Anyway, her boyfriend picks up the phone. He doesn't call the ambulance because she's been a bad girl, therefore she must die. Doesn't call the ambulance. Little girl comes down the stairs. I want to see Mummy. Go back up to bed. And then he goes down the pub and buys a pint of milk, which he then brings back after he's been down the pub. He smashes the milk on the floor, drops a phone on the floor to make it look like an accident. Well, it was an accident, actually. They were having a row. We didn't push her onto it. She fell over it. Silly cow. Should have put the knives up the right way. Don't have knives pointing upwards. Very dangerous, dear. Anyway, she's fallen over that. End of the programme. Dead. Well, perhaps she wasn't dead. Perhaps she's just gone on to another plane of life, as I mentioned at the beginning of this programme this morning. Looked dead to me. And then the captions come out. No music. And I said to my nephew, why is there no music? He said, because it's a sad one. Well, I always knew the sad bits in EastEnders years ago when I used to watch it, when they had that bit of piano at the end. Do you remember? Da, 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 da. They do the sad piano bit, don't they, on the EastEnders? No, not a sound last night, just complete and utter silence. Some people think this show would be better like that. Just in complete silence, but there we are. Anyway, that was EastEnders last night. And as I say, my favourite part of yesterday was Eve's homemade cookies. I went for an extended walk yesterday afternoon. It was only extended by accident, to be honest. I thought I'd try a different route. And I thought I'd detect a new area for cleansing, because I've picked up all the rubbish around here now. It's all picked up now. So instead, I came out of this caravan, so I turned right, followed the road left, and usually go right up to the river. But I went left instead. Sort of the way I usually drive back down home. Walking along there, yes, plenty of items waiting to be cleansed. I only had one little carrier bag with me yesterday, which wasn't enough, and I'm picking up these cans. Then I made the mistake. I saw a plastic milk bottle. Now, in actual fact, you don't find many plastic milk bottles when you're doing this litter collecting. I don't know why that is. You find loads of cans, like Coca-Cola, Jack Daniels. There's a black Jack Daniels can that I seem to come across a lot. Haribo sweet packets, that sort of thing, right? But you rarely find a milk bottle, a plastic milk bottle. But I did yesterday, okay? So I've picked this up and realised immediately it stank. Not only that, the lid wasn't on properly, so it went all over my hand. And then for the entire trip, all I could smell was this gone-off milk. Oh, it was vile. Isn't that one of the worst smells? Gone-off milk. You must clean it up quickly if you drop any of that. Horrible smell. Picking up. What is that smell? It was on my hand, weren't it? And, of course, leaking out of the bag I'm now carrying. Anyway, so I thought, well, it can't be that far. I looked over there, and I could see where I wanted to get to. Okay, which was here. So I would go da 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 da. That bit da is the river, which is I'd usually go along that road and back along the same road. But I thought I'd go in a circle today. Be all right, wouldn't it? Just because you can see it doesn't mean it's any closer. Oh, God, this walk went on and on and on. Eventually, 14,000 steps, almost 6 miles later, I arrived back here after 2¼ hours. But it was a nice walk. It was a lovely day yesterday. And I know where I'm going to go today to pick up some more rubbish. because I can't stand it. I should complete another area now. Not only that, the area I look after, which is all along the river, that had 3 new pieces of rubbish yesterday that weren't there the day before, including the door from a kitchen unit with hinges still attached. Dear me, how this stuff comes down there. Anyway, so that was the walk yesterday. New area to be cleansed, located, and that'll be done hopefully this afternoon. I was really tired after that walk, so I came here, had my lunch, and I didn't get my painting done yesterday. There's a stick outside, there's like a pole. Well, not the actual pole, although that has now got paint on it. The bit of wood that the pole is attached to needs to be painted. It's had 2 coats so far, and it still don't look right, so I'm going to give that another one hopefully this afternoon. And as I say, nice night last night over at my nephew's house. Myself and great niece Evie, we did a TikTok video, and one of those, I don't know, it's one of those modern songs that she wanted to do, so we did that one last night, which was great fun. We had to do it about 10 times, I think, in the end. We just couldn't get it right. And her mum was holding the camera for us, so that was nice. Then we watched Tom and Jerry on the telly. Great nephew Harry chose Tom and Jerry to watch last night, which I was so pleased about that, because we like Tom and Jerry, don't we? That's something we can all watch as a family together. I couldn't sit there and watch an episode of that crap programme Teletubbies or Bananas in Pyjamas, all of which the children love this stuff, you know. Not my sort of thing. Tom and Jerry, yes, so we're watching episodes of that, and I managed to connect my phone to the TV set, and now and again I would pause it. Oh, why is that happening? And they wouldn't know why that was happening. Who's touching the remote control? And the kids were blaming each other, weren't they? Uncle Chris is there with his remote control on the phone, so I kept doing that, and it was lovely. Yeah, really nice yesterday. All right, I've got a swim tonight. I'm back at the swimming pool tonight, so I'm looking forward to that at the open air pool here in just down the road in Woodhall Spa. What else have I got to do today? Got to record the music round for next Tuesday's quiz. I was talking to my neighbour, actually, not the one here, the one down at the house. He says he's going on a short holiday shortly. Him and his lovely lady, Karen is her name. Dave and Karen, who live next door to me in Bracknell. Fantastic neighbours, absolutely fantastic neighbours. They look after my house and I look after theirs when they're away. And they're off on a little holiday to the Lake District. They've hired a cottage, Sky Cottages, they've got it through, Sky Cottages in the Lake District. And funnily enough, this is something I want to do soon as well. I was hoping to do it this year at some point, but we're not so sure now because we might have a second lockdown, mightn't we? So probably not a good idea for me to book something like that. But Lake District Cottages, in sort of October time I want to go, you can get one for less than 300 quid for the whole week. It'll only be me going. I don't go on holiday with anyone unless it's family anymore. Too many blooming disasters with that. Just doesn't work for me, I'm afraid. So was looking at Lake District cottages on Sky Cottages. It's SKYE, Sky Cottages, that's the name of the company. And there's quite a large selection on there. But I was surprised at how many of them are fully booked up. You know, I wouldn't have thought it was the sort of thing that many people would be wanting to do in sort of October and November. But completely wrong. You know, you're kind of struggling to find a week, really. I typed in sort of 17th of October, I typed in. Not an awful lot coming out. There was some that were there like over 400 quid, and like for one person like sleeps 5. Well, there's only me. I only want a little place, really. That's a bit like, I mean, I've looked around here somewhere to move. Maybe, I don't know when one. I expect at some point a place will jump out at me. I thought that's the one. But often you find they're like 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms. You don't find many places that are 2 bedrooms, really. You know, that have got land around it as well. Similarly, with looking at a holiday cottage, it was difficult to find something. But I'm sure something will be there, but possibly not the thing to be doing at the moment there. Yeah, in the Sun this morning and on the news, the delightful Naga Munshetty was on the news this morning, looking beautiful as ever. We love Naga. We love Naga because she is fierce. That's what we like. Fierce, don't we? Fierce. And in all the news stories, they're now talking about another 2-week social lockdown within days to act as a circuit breaker on the virus. Prime Minister hopes the short, sharp shock advised by a top scientist, will jolt COVID-19 and then let people resume their lives once again. Well, not if they don't go out for 2 weeks and then everything comes down a little bit and then they all go out again. The trouble is, I think, these lockdowns, they come off and immediately everyone goes out to celebrate. Well, it says that schools and offices will stay open, pubs, restaurants and leisure centres could be closed for at least a fortnight, going further than current curfews in some areas. And just a few weeks ago, we were all being told, here's some money, go out and eat something. And now they want to close the restaurants. There's many people on the Facebook all slagging off the government, this, that and the other. I don't suppose the other lot would be any better than this. They just happen to be the ones holding the reins at the moment. They don't know what to do. It's all very well. Everyone's a blooming expert, aren't they? Have you been on that Facebook and Twitter? Everyone's an expert. You wouldn't be able to do any better than this lot. I very much doubt it. And if the other lot were in there, I don't suppose they'd be able to do any better either. They're kind of plodding around in the dark here. Oh, well, they should do this. Well, are you a scientist? You're a scientist, are you? No. These people are surrounded by scientists. The trouble is, even with scientists, they've all got different opinions. So that one might over there say, lock it down, 6 months, lock everything down for 6 months, it'll all be gone by then. And I'm like, oh no, you shouldn't really do that because da-da-da-da-da. And even the scientists don't agree on it. It's a really difficult situation to be in. And I'm so glad that I don't have to take decisions like that, But you listen to the bits and pieces you want. I kind of understand the mask thing and not being in large groups of people and no touching and all that. I get all that. I understand. That kind of makes sense to me, It says that number 10 has been told by the government's Joint Biosecurity Centre, which monitors infections, that Britain is 6 weeks behind Spain, and they had another 239 deaths on Thursday. And then you'll see something like that. Someone will repost that. Oh, but what about all the people that have died of cancer? Or heart attacks? Or flu? Well, the point is, if this thing gets out of control, there'll be 1,000,000 times more people dying of this than bleeding cancer. You can't let it get out of control. But you try and talk to some people, they won't listen. Their little minds are closed off. They mind up their own mind and that's it. Their minds are completely closed off. You can't let it get under control. Look at a leaf with green fly on it, okay? Gardeners. We've got lots of gardeners on here, haven't we? Look at a leaf with loads of green fly on it, okay? You see one green fly on there, you squash it. A few days later, you see another green fly on there, you squash it. See? Only one at a time. Should be able to get those all right. You see a green fly on there and leave it for 2 weeks. The leaf is gone, eaten. You can't let it get out of control like that. And that's what the thickos of this world don't understand. There we are. Anyway, that's the... thought I'd touch on that little bit of news there on the old virus thing there. Let's say good morning to some of you this morning. Thank you very much for joining us today. Jason Hughes, good morning to you. Hello to my good friend Danny Gibbs. Morning, Danny. Up there in Cleethorpes. Morning, Danny. Michael Parman, hello. Watching. Morning, Michael. Andy V, hello to you. DSLDG2 is here again. Morning. There's our lovely Diane Jeb. Hello, gorgeous. Jeffrey. Morning, Jeff. Jeff and Linda are in the house this morning. Hello to Tony King. Rachel Wheatland's there. Now, Rachel has sent a picture today. She's not the only one. We have pictures. More and more pictures coming in now. It's fantastic. Thank you. If you ever want to send a picture in for me to shove up on the screen, I can't do it on this show. Please send it to that email address. Or 2 pictures. No more than 2 pictures, please, because otherwise it starts getting a bit complicated, all right? 2 pictures, and I'll put them on the next show, or perhaps a short video or something like that. Please only send 1 item at a time, maybe 2 pictures, 1 email. Otherwise, what happens is that you'll send me 3 items, and you'll put 2 up. What happened to my other item? Well, it got lost, among all the other emails. So just 1 at a time, and then when I've shown whatever you've got, then send another one. Okay, but we have got pictures today from Paul Copeland, Adam the plumber, George Bond, his dad's got a new cat, and he wants to show us his cat, so that's coming up. Steve Carter, and Rachel and Denise Andrews. Is there one from Dylan? I don't know if there's one from Dylan as well. I think that's it today. I'm pretty sure that's it. And there might be John Parrish as well there. But if you'd like to see those items, we require this morning. Yesterday we got 27 likes. Can I have 29 today? Can I have 29 likes today? We've got 16 at the moment. It's asking a lot, is it? Shall we? Let's see what happens, shall we? 29 likes and I'll show you those pictures this morning, you lovely people. All right. Good morning to Denise Andrews. Morning, Denise. She's sent in stuff today. Do you want to see it? Hit the like button, the little thumbs up underneath the chat box or on your mobile telecommunications device. Okay. Joe Woodrow. Morning, Joe. Hello, young Joe. Nice to see you there, my love. There's Gary 2 Tickets Ross. Mandy Davenport, who is, of course, very important job. She is head of pain and suffering on this channel, again. Morning, lovely Mandy. Morning, Mandy. There's Stephen Petty. Good morning, Stephen. Dave Weston. Hi, Dave, if you can see my comment. Hi, Dave. Yes, I can see your comment there. See your comment there, young Dave. Morning to you, Dave. Where are we now? Oh, I've lost the place now. We've done Stephen Petty. Dave Weston. Dave Weston. Why would I not be able to see your comment? Have you been having with your trouble with your YouTube comments, maybe? Something like that? Morning to Daniel Woodhouse. Good morning to Daniel Woodhouse. Scrolling down. Just scrolling. Steve Carter in the house. Morning, Steve. Fran Green. Good morning, Fran. You like the sound effects, do you? Boo! There's a few people I'd like to hear that tone coming out of when they're in an hospital, I must say. There's my nephew, Gary Butler. Morning, Gary. Hope you didn't finish all those cookies that your daughter made me last night. Absolutely delicious, yes. Good morning to Dr. Gregorian in London. Morning, sir. Morning, Dr. Gregorian. Danny says, so you don't want your funeral service held at my church? Well, you can have a funeral at 2 churches, can't you, Danny? I think you can, actually. You know, with the tambourines and a little band playing. You could do the readings. You could do the readings, couldn't you? You could shove in some of your own readings that you made up. Talk about Mrs. Melted and our fantastic times that we used to have at Waterloo together, didn't we? Wonderful, that little club we used to go to. Wonderful that was. Such happy times. Such happy, happy times. And then the trip to see Mrs. Melted outside in a little cafe round the corner, getting our rolls. Where have you been? Oh, we've been in a club round the corner. Oh, that's okay. She used to say, didn't she? She used to say, how many this week? Didn't she? Bless her heart. Dr. Gregorian has offered to sing in the choir, but we'll make sure no one charges for the service except for me. Thank you for your kind offer, Dr. Gregorian. He's going to sing in the choir for me. Thank you very much. Morning to Mick Davenport. Let's just get down the bottom there. Morning to Mark Bowles. Morning, Mark. Oh, Mick Davenport's not happy. Neighbour rapping at 1:40 a.m. and 6:10. Oh, really? Have you got a noisy neighbour? I feel sorry for you, Mick. And I mean that. Nothing worse than a noisy neighbour, mate. Dreadful. Mark Bowles has been drinking again. You must stop that, Mark. You must stop all that heavy drinking. It's because you're not happy with your life, which you would be if you was with me. It's as simple as that, my love. Get rid of the girl. Hanging around her, it's just wasted. Grab your boy. New mummy is waiting here. I've got spare room at my... I've got 3 bedrooms at my house. One of them unused. That's your boy's bedroom. What's it? So you best ask what he wants on the walls. I think I mentioned this to you last week, didn't I? What's he want on the walls? I'm guessing dinosaurs. I think he might like dinosaur wallpaper, which of course you'll have to put up because I can't be doing anything like that to you. I make you nice tea and biscuits while you're doing it. Nice dinosaur wallpaper on the wall. Dinosaur bedspread thing, whatever it is. And sheets. Yes. PlayStations, everything in that boy, you'll have. What's he got now? Old Tina shouting at him. Oi, have you picked up your socks yet? Have you picked up your socks? Won't be any of that, my darling. Morning to Mike Rees-Ponto. Good morning to you. Let's get all these names in for you now, my loves. Scrolling. Daniel Woodhouse. I think we've said hello to Daniel Woodhouse. Have I said hello to everyone? Christopher Woodhouse. Morning, DJ Chris. He's here as well. Young DJ Chris in the house. Scrolling quickly now. Hello to the Gary and John show. Come to Welsh Wales. Gary. Gary, Owen and John. Yes. Come to Welsh Wales. There's lots of places there, isn't there? I want to see lakes. Lakes, I know the certainly sort of around Snowdonia. It's very beautiful in Wales, isn't it? Beautiful there. But I could come to Wales, I suppose. Somewhere like that. Good morning to Fun Things to Do with Tech. Morning to you. Do me to ring green... What's that? Do you want me to ring Greenpeace and say you're swimming in open air pool as you might set off a tsunami when getting in? That could happen. I went swimming Thursday this week and there wasn't many people in the pool at all, which is great. And you have great big wide lanes, so no chance of contact with anyone in there. Mind you, there's not many. There's no fit people in that swimming pool at all, other than myself, of course. There wasn't a single fit person for me to ogle at, which is a good thing, really, because I could concentrate on my swimming then, couldn't I? Good God, 32 likes already. That was quick. Thank you. Let's show you these photos. I just want to get down the bottom of the list to say hello to everyone's names on here. There's Shania Steele. Good morning, Shania. Morning, Shania. Head of the Catholic Church on the Isle of Wight. Of course, you will arrange the funeral, Shania. You can arrange the funeral for me, darling. Shania, I don't know if you were with us at the beginning of the show, but we were trying to arrange my funeral this morning. Is it okay? I'd like sort of 8 fit lads carrying me in, suitably dressed, don't get me wrong. You know, they're not going to come along with little sparkly shorts and white vests on. Won't be any of that nasty, tacky stuff going on at my funeral, darling. But good, you know, nice-looking lads are sort of about 25, 30. 30, I'll go up to 35, you know, I'm not ageist at all. Up to 30, no older than, no old people though, please, darling, no. I don't really want any old people at my funeral either. Not really. You know. Don't let my sister in, for Christ's sake. Oh, Christ, the crying. Oh, I can't bear it. Oh, it'd be crying and hollering. She's going to London today. They've got to go down to London to collect, or I don't know how it works actually. They've got these COVID-19 tests because they're supposed to be going to Cyprus on, I think it's Monday or Tuesday. Excuse me. They're going to Cyprus either Monday or Tuesday. I think they're going down on the Monday, staying at a hotel for that one night, and then getting the plane Tuesday because it's a lot easier. I mean, because they're going from Gatwick, I think, this time. It's either Gatwick or Luton. Luton Airport. And isn't this lovely? Ravishing. Do you remember those adverts for Luton Airport? Do you remember that? Or something. They were advertising something. She mentioned Luton Airport. I think they're flying from one of those. But this time they're staying at a hotel near the airport, which I think is a very sensible thing to do. I mean, travelling from the north down to either Luton or even worse, Gatwick, there's too many places for you to get held up at. Really. You know, as you well know, a journey that should be, I don't know, say Gatwick would be about 4 hours, I would imagine. That 4-hour journey could turn into 6, 7, 8 hours or more if you get stuck in the wrong places. So very, very sensible. They're supposed to be flying off on Tuesday, and I'm sure they will. You know, whether or not they get back, I don't know. I think they're going to get stuck in Cyprus. Bye, sis. That's all right. I'll be able to have a house then, won't I? I'll move into the house. I'll be all right with equipment. Martin's got all these little cameras and things that I can have a little play with when he's there. Then when he comes back eventually, maybe 6 months later, when I eventually start the flights coming back into the country again, he'll be able to sort it out. I might have changed 1 or 2 things on the computer. You know. The, what's that you know, the back picture on the computer that you can select? Yeah, you might not like the one I choose. Someone like Justin Bieber on there with all his tattoos or something like that. He might not like that, but yeah, I'm sure he'll be all right. Won't mind, will he? Set up a camera or 2, you know, with his tripods. He's got loads of tripods and microphones and things. My nephew would be very happy to help me set up in there. I could have another studio in Woodhall Spa, couldn't I? You know. Quite like the sound of that, really. So today, they got a COVID-19 test through the post. that was a difficult in itself, as I mentioned to you earlier in the week. So I don't know how it works now, what they've done. I think they sent it back and then they had to physically go and collect it for some reason today, as in Saturday. So I believe they're leaving the house at about 10 o'clock. I don't know if they're with us this morning or not. Perhaps I haven't got down as far as that. But that's what they've got to do today. They've got to go down to King's Cross. So they're driving to Grantham, which is where sort of the main train station is there. And then they get a train into King's Cross. And then I'm not quite sure what happens after that. Presumably they go to some sort of hospital or clinic and collect something. A piece of paper probably or something like that. And then they come back because these Cyprus people, they tell you you've got to have a COVID-19 test, I think within 72 hours of getting there or something like that. It's very complicated. Well, the test, do you know what the tests have cost them? £150 each. 300 quid for 2 tests. More than the bleeding flights. Shh. Untrue, isn't it, eh? That's what they're doing today. So that's what my sister's doing today. Good morning to George Bond. Thank you, Rachel. Good morning to all our silent viewers. Let's show you these lovely pictures that we've got in today from people. So thank you very much for all your sending in of the pictures. First of all, Rachel Wheatland, she won the raffle yesterday, which, as you know, she won the backdrop with the pink trees, and it arrived at her house, I kid you not, within 18 minutes of me, 18 hours of me posting it. Fantastic service from the postal service up here in Lincolnshire. And she got it yesterday and it's up already. Want to see what she's done with it? It's good. Look at that. Isn't that fantastic what she's done there? So that's the backdrop right at the back, and what she's done is put it in front of a window. And the deer in front of it, that's not part of the backdrop. She has that. She actually owns that. And she's put it in front of the backdrop together with... It just works so well, that it really does. And you know your sideboard on the left there, Rachel? I swear that is an identical copy of one that my mother had. I'm sure it is. In actual fact, Rachel, part of that... All right, so just have a quick look at that. It's just beautiful what you've done there. Well done. Well done, Rachel, and thank you so much for taking a picture and sending that in. But you see that sideboard you've got there on the side there? Okay, now my mother and father had exactly the same one. I remember them bringing it in. The bloke brought it in. There was no DIY then. A bloke came round, or blokes came round and bought stuff up the stairs already made, put it in position, that was it. This particular thing came in 2 parts. There was a top part and a bottom part. I remember him coming in there and Mum was saying, how do I clean it? Don't use any polish, just a damp cloth, right? Years later, of course, my dad passed over to another life, hopefully better than this one. And my mum as well in 2000. And on emptying out the house, I chose to keep this particular item. And it was sitting in my living room for ages. Then I wanted to change the living room around, but I didn't want to chuck it out. So I took it apart. And I used the bottom part at the house for putting the TV on. TV on the top there, you know. Couple of other gadgets, solar panel meter and things like that. So that's all on there. But I still had the top half, which I kind of just had on the floor in the living room, but it looked a bit out of place. That's got a use now. The top part of it now has a use. And it's holding up the desk in here. I don't know how I managed to get it in the car, actually, because it's quite big. I'm going to take a picture of what's below me now, okay? And you'll see, Rachel, if this is the same one as yours or not, because I think it is. I've never seen... Sorry, I'm a bit dim over there, aren't I? I've never seen anyone with this again, but if I just take that picture there, this is what's holding me up, you see. Look, hang on, let's do it. There you go. Look, Rachel. Is that the same as yours? Or almost? When I first moved up here, I bought that up to put my desk on. It's just basically a piece of wood on the top there. That's what's holding everything up. It's very strong. Very strong. Is that the same one as yours, Rach? Huh? Thanks for that. Isn't that weird? It's just weird, that is. Morning to John Aitken. Morning. My mum had a wall unit like that in the 70s and 80s. That's when it would have been. My mum loved her ornaments that I used to dust and polish. Did you? Yeah. It's lovely. G-Plan Furniture, Chris. Got about 5 big cabinets. I think it was G-Plan, actually. I'm sure I've seen a label on here at the back that says G-Plan. But I'm pretty sure that's what exactly that is there, you know. All right, so thanks for that one. What else have we got here? Let's have a look. Let's just move down here. Thank you to Steve Carter next. Steve Carter has sent in another couple of pictures of Peggy and what was the other name of the dog? Peggy the pug and Bronson the bulldog. There we are. Oh, look. There's Steve's dogs. Look at his little tongue hanging out. Oh, and there they are together. Aren't they? They love each other, those dogs, don't they? Why does that little one always look so sad, those pugs, don't they? What has made them look so sad? Is it because they're small or they want to be bigger? Oh, thank you, Steve. We do like to see pictures of pets, so you can send pictures of your pets in anything you want at all. Just send them through, okay? Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk is my email address if you want to send through any bits and pieces. Thank you, Steve. Wonderful. There you go. There's the email address there. I'll leave that up there for a while. Denise Andrews. Thank you, Denise. She's been busy with the camera as well. Denise Andrews sends through pictures of her fridge magnet collection and clearly shows space in readiness for when she wins, hopefully, one of these. Because there's not many left now. Unfortunately, it looks like we're going to run out of these before the end of the year. Unless we get people not claim the prize, which could happen. It's happened before, you know. But there would have to be sort of 4 or 5 people not claiming, I think, for us to manage to get through the end of the year. But anyway, here's Denise's fridge magnet collection. Thank you, Denise. It's a little bit small, that picture, because it's up that way. Do you know, it may be easier. Do you want me to turn it round? I think I can turn that round somehow. 1 minute. 1 minute. How do I do this now? Transform. Let's rotate it. Oh, yeah, that'd be better. There you go. You can see that a little bit better like that, can't you? All right. Look at all those fridge magnets she's got. It's good, isn't it? People collect those. My sister collects those as well. All right. Bit difficult to see what they actually are. Can we have a cut? Oh, actually, I can do that, I think. There we go. Can we do that like that? A little bit more, and I can move it around a bit. Oh, it's gone a little bit blurry now, isn't it? But, oh, there's... What's that one? Is that a Union flag? No, it's not there on the right-hand side. Let's move that across there. There we are. Look at that. All right, Denise. She's got lots of space there, waiting for a hopeful win, aren't you, Denise? Thank you, Denise, for sending that one in there. Where else are we now? George Bond. Here we go. George Bond has sent in a picture of his dad's new cat. Oh, look. Oh, you just need to pick them up and cuddle them. George Bond does his own shows, boys and girls. He's got his own YouTube channel. Okay. Beautiful cat. You haven't said his name. What's his name, George? What's your little cat's name or your dad's cat's name? Oh, it looks very comfortable on that. What is that, a pink fleece thing, is it? Like one of those fleeces. I don't get on too well with fleeces. I get electric shocks when I put those over me. Thank you, George. Anyone else get electric shocks from fleeces? We love cats. Oh. Mandy Davenport wants the dog. She wants the pug. Oh, do you? Well, perhaps ask nicely. It's a lot of fridge magnets, isn't it, Chris Woodhouse? Do you collect fridge magnets? I can't remember what your fridge looks like, Chris. Not that I was looking at it in your house. I was more looking at your lovely television, dear. Beautiful telly. Chris has got an 8K telly now. He's got, haven't you? There we are. John Aitken's got a lot of fridge magnets from everywhere I've been in the world, but not all on the fridge. Did you run out of space on the fridge? It's just about working. Oh, that's a point. Oh, I never thought of that. Denise says at least your computer is still working after getting a picture from George. Because he had a virus, didn't he, when it was sent to Gary? Poor old Gary, our mate Gary Owen. He's on Friday nights, incidentally. Gary Owen's British talk show is on the Friday. He only does Friday nights now, from as far as I know. If you know different, please let us know. Okay. Adam the plumber. He's just had a hot tub put in. I think he bought a hot tub. I don't know how much it cost him, actually, Adam. But here's the picture. There you go. There's him in his other half, sat in that hot tub. They look quite comfortable, don't they? 300 quid, one of those. It's not bad, is it? But, of course, there's nothing over it. So I don't know how that works in the winter. Presumably, you have to... I haven't got a hot tub. I don't desire something like that. I just don't want to be sitting in sort of... dirty. Well, it would be dirty, wouldn't it? Unless you have a shower when you go in, but you still get bits leaking off you, don't you? I mean, it's not very pleasant if you're in a jacuzzi and you don't really fancy anyone in there that you're sitting next to, and I just feel bits of them are getting attached to me. Bits of dead skin from people that I don't fancy are being attached to me. You know, not my idea of fun at all. So I probably won't have a hot tub. That being said, they're very popular. And can you use them in the winter? I suppose you can, but you have to leave them plugged in all the time, using electricity, dear. Christ, I don't turn anything on unless I have to, I believe me, dear. I mean, if I could sit here doing this with no lights on, I would do. Oh, no, I can't be sitting in there with that dirty water around me. Nope. I haven't even got a bath there, or at house. I've got good showers. Don't want a bath. There we are. Thank you, Adam, for those. Is that all of them? I thought there was another one. Is there any more? One moment, please. John Barish. Is this one we've done already? Oh, well, let's bring it up anyway. Let's see what happens. John Pat. This might be a blank screen, is it? Yeah, he hasn't sent anything today. Okay, Dylan. We've done Dylan. Denise, Rachel, Mick, we've done. Steve Carter. Paul Copeland. Paul Copeland sends those in there. Okay, actually, he sent these in a little while ago, and I must have missed them. So there we are. A couple of pictures from Cleethorpes. Isn't that lovely? That's not actually... Can I just I'll point out that isn't actually two seagulls joined together. Someone's been clever with the photographs. And that's the sunset, Cleethorpes Pier. Beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. Eh? That's a picture and a half, isn't it? On Cleethorpes Pier, they have an excellent fish and chips restaurant. I can't remember the name of it. It's like a foreign name, like an Italian type name. Like, I don't know, Romeo or something like that it is. Okay? Go in that restaurant. If you ever go to Cleethorpes, go on the restaurant on the pier. Fantastic. Fish and chips. Posh fish and chips, I call it. I had a halloumi and chips. Oh, my God, it was delicious. And they put honey on the halloumi, which is something that I would never have thought of doing, but so very tasty. There you are. There's the seagulls once again. Let's have another look at that beautiful sunset. Look at that. Oh, look. We get sunsets like that here at the top of the river. It's stunning, isn't it, eh? All right. Okie doke. So once again, gang, anything you want to send in, feel free. Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Thanks so much for all the likes for seeing those little people, those little bits and pieces. All right. Explosive diarrhea. Anyone ever had that? Isn't it funny how we've gone to sunsets to explosive diarrhea? Like that. You see how we easily move in and out of different stories on this programme? Huh? A hunt is underway for a man with explosive diarrhea, filmed emptying his bowels onto a city centre street. Oh, God. What would you do if you saw someone doing that? But you know, there's there's one or two people on here with IBS, including myself. Okay. Now I don't have it too bad at the moment. Haven't done for a while now. Actually, I'm kind of. You hope that, when you get something like chronic, when chronic doesn't mean that you've got something really bad. It means you've got something that goes on and on. Like if you've got asthma, you've got chronic asthma because it will go on and on for ages. You might only need that now and again. Not very often, but because it's a long-term thing. Chronic means long-term. A lot of people think, oh my God, he's got really bad asthma. No, he's got chronic asthma, which means it goes on and on for a long time, And similarly with things like that, and you think, oh, maybe it's gone away. No, it'll come back when you're least expecting it. IBS, I'm afraid. Probably when you're sitting in traffic in London. Oh my God, I've got to go. I've had some very, very near misses. I don't mind telling you, boys and girls. Maybe you have too. A hunt is underway. Brighton and Hove City Council want to find the man who was filmed pooing on a street in Brighton. Video captures the disgusting moment the man pooed on a wall at around 7 a.m. In the footage, a man wearing a purple shirt and beige hat can be seen entering the area. He then puts a can down on the floor before dropping his trousers. The act, punishable by a £75 fine. Oh, forget the fine, make him blooming clean it up, dear. £75 fine takes less than a second as he sprays liquid up the wall opposite houses. Oh, God. Appalled residents. I love it there. They write that. Some of the way they write some of these stories. Appalled resident Chris Hayes contacted the council's cleaning department at 11 a.m. Can you please arrange for this to be cleaned up hygienically and urgently, he wrote in an email. This is not just a sweep clean, but human poo. At 4:20 p.m, he emailed the council again, writing, I'm very disappointed that this has not been cleaned up. Have you not got a hose? I'm not being funny, mate, but have you got a hose? Did it occur to you to try and do it? Huh? Oh, nothing to do with me. One of those, is it? Oh, Christ. There we go again, dear. No one wants to do anything themselves, are they? It does make me laugh. Some of these people who've got council houses, if you've got one, you're extremely lucky to have one, right? And maybe there's something wrong with the window. Yeah, it's looking a little bit rotten, perhaps, or just needs a bit of a paint. Still waiting for the council to paint my window frames. Go and get yourself a blooming pot of paint and do it. Why you got to wait for the council to do it? It's not my job. Do it. We'll go on the whole thing of litter picking if you want me to again. I've done it so many times in the last few weeks. Saw a bit of litter on it. Nothing to do with me. Ain't touching that. Ain't touching that. Not my rubbish. Pick it up. Go on. Force yourselves. Leave it to someone else all the time to do with it. No one takes, any notice of stuff if it's nothing to do with them, do they? Nothing to do with me. What do I pay my rates for? It's an obvious health hazard, said this bloke, and I would have thought this should have been an urgent case. Or maybe he lives in a flat and he can't do it. I don't know. But he might have been able to do it. Nope, don't want to do it. Ring up the council. Leave it to them. Brighton and Hove City. If that was outside my house, I'd be out there with a hose. Don't have it on too hard, because it'll splash back over you. You don't want that. A Brighton Hove City Council spokesman says defecating in public is against the law. And our environmental enforcement officers are looking into this. But sometimes it's just not possible to stop. I have to say that, because I know. As I say, I've made it, literally. Just about made it. But there are probably one or two people on this channel who haven't made it to the toilet before. It's not funny. It's not funny. You don't want some council bloke screaming down the phone at there that you've done something terrible. Had it been me, I would have tried to clean it up somehow. I don't know how. We would ask anyone with information on who this person is to get in contact with cityclean@brightonhove.gov.uk. Spitting, which is the most disgusting thing ever, isn't it? You go through some areas of London. They do it constantly. Not usually, it's usually lads spitting. Oh, dirty people. Urinating or defecating in public are all punishable by a £75 on-the-spot fine. Well, actually, Brighton City Council, how many of the toilets were open in the area at the time? How many of your toilets were open? Were there any toilets in the area when that man clearly became desperate? Well, yes, there's so many different angles to look at all this, isn't there? People with various problems, or simply, they've got a bit of a stomach upset. What are they supposed to do? What do you suggest they do, idiots? There we are. Brighton and Hove City Council, aren't they on part of Greenpeace or something like that? They got that green woman down there, haven't you? She don't want you to have any heating or lights. Dear me. Anyway, that's that story there. I sounded like Spit the dog. Oh, do you remember Spit the dog? Thank you, Rachel. Oh, Gary Ross, chewing gum stuck to pavements. Do you know that doesn't seem to be so much of a problem these days? Chewing gum stuck to pavement, but it was certainly in the 80s. It used to be everywhere, this chewing gum. Horrible, horrible stuff, really. Chewing gum everywhere. Mick got caught once. Down a rabbit hole while fishing. Oh, that poor rabbit, Mick. You see, it's a lot easier if you're out somewhere, like a forest or something like that. If you're desperate, you're desperate. And perhaps a little bit of earth to cover it over, something like that, So what can you do? You're just one of those things. It's not ideal. Oh, I'd hate to go toilet outside somewhere other than my toilet. But sometimes, if you're desperate, what can you do? Jason's been caught a few times. Luckily, I had rigger boots on. They just needed emptying. Yeah, but wait, was it explosive, Jason? Was it explosive? Because if it was, you're holding that boot, and as you go, it just splashes out back. Here's an experiment for you to do later on, boys and girls. If you don't believe me, just get a cup and slowly fill it with water. Like that. And then empty it. Then get a cup and turn the tap on full and it just sprays out everywhere, doesn't it? That's what Jason Hughes is talking about there, my loves. Poor thing. Good morning, Gizmo. Hello, Gizmo in Guildford this morning. Morning to you. John's been caught out a couple of times as well. Yes. I remember my mate in a pub once. I was DJing in a pub and he came over to me. He said, I've just been to the toilet and there's no toilet paper, so you can guess what's happened, can't you? I'm going home now. It's not even funny. It doesn't amuse me to hear a story like that. Really, honestly, it doesn't. We sit here and have a little bit of a giggle. But really, if you've ever had it happen to you, it really isn't funny at all, is it? Fun things to do with tech. Has done photography for 20 years. And I was waiting for over an hour to get the photo. And the birds was birds together. But I do have a lot on my Facebook page. Yeah, if you're really into photography, and I know a couple of people that are, they will spend hours. You've got to be so patient, especially those people that go taking pictures of birds, in those little cabins. I don't know what they're called. Hideouts. Sometimes you go to play. In fact, there's a couple in Woodhall Spa. We saw one the other day. My nephew's wife and me and two of the children, Harry and Evie, we went out for a walk the other day, and we came across one of those hideouts which overlooks onto a large pond lake. I don't know if it was a lake or a pond. Is there sizes involved here? It wasn't a huge, but it was a bit too big to be a pond, if you see what I mean. Anyway, and this hideout looks over there, and you open a little shutter, and you can watch what's going on out there. And I do know that proper photographers will spend hours just waiting patiently for that right shot to come along. They're like that outside here at the caravan, trying to get... I see them with their long lenses trying to get pictures of me, what being an international celebrity superstar that I am. Harry and I'm always getting phone calls from Harry and Megan, or whatever her name is, Megan. Where's the photographers? Oh, they're trying to get a picture of Chris Reardon today, you know. Oh, dear. Talking to Harry and Meghan. In the Sun this morning, Harry and Meghan have been named the celebrity couples Brits would least like to live next door to. No one wants to be the neighbour. How awful. Who would you not want to live next door to? There's a question for you. Who would you not want to live next door to? In the Sun, Prince Harry and Meghan are the famous couple British people would least like to live next door to, a survey claims. A quarter said the high-profile pair now in the United States would make the worst neighbours. Good Morning presenter Piers obese, hugely overweight, mouthy git Morgan was voted the worst celebrity neighbour by 36%, followed by... Now have a guess who he's followed by. Here is a clue. I really wouldn't want to live next door to this particular person. So if I said to you, Piers Morgan has been voted the worst celebrity neighbour by 36% of people, who's the next one? See if you can guess that. Many British people do not like the thought of living near politicians. Oh, I'd quite like to live next to Theresa May. Yeah, I could see her popping in now and again for a cup of tea and a chat. I liked her. I think she got a few things wrong, but, you know, who doesn't? Oh, I mean, obviously I don't, do I? You know, have you ever seen a single mistake on this programme? Absolutely not, my loves. No, you never see loads of people pointing out that there might be a button undone or a microphone switched off or a slightly crooked clock on the wall. That usually upsets people. Crooked clocks on walls. Really upsets them. Did you guess who that person could be? Correct! Gemma Collins. Gemma Collins. Jeff, have you seen a deer in Woodall Spa? I haven't been in Woodall Spa Woods yet, Jeff. I've got to go there next. That's my next place to go and have a little bit of a walk there, actually. It's a car journey, though, there, isn't it? You can't sort of walk. I like walking to places straight from the caravan without having to use my petrol. Well, I'm down to 50 mile on the tank. Anyway, you're all right there. Gemma Collins, look, John Aitken, Gemma Collins, Denise Andrews, Gemma Collins. Gary Ross hates to live next door to Romanians as he'd be afraid to keep the windows open. They'd be climbing in to rob the place. That would be terrible, wouldn't it, Gary? Fit Romanian lads climbing in to do terrible things. Might leave my windows open tonight then. Andy V says, Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-un. Doesn't want to live next to him, do you? Is that right? Why is that then? Because if he don't like you, he puts you up against the wall like he did to his uncle. He puts you up against the wall. He don't have a firing squad. He fires a missile at you, a ballistic missile. I kid you not. That's how he killed his uncle. He fired a ballistic missile at him against the wall. Is there a video of that we can watch for entertainment? Anyway, back to the story. Yes, it's Gemma Collins. Other celebrities considered difficult to live next to were Kerry Katona, 30%, and Oasis bad boy Liam Gallagher, 28%. 28% also said they wouldn't live next door to Boris Johnson. I would imagine Boris Johnson, living next door to Boris Johnson, I would imagine he's a fairly quiet person, wouldn't you? I don't think he'd make too much noise. Celebrity pair Mark Wright and Michelle Keegan, and TV's Mary Berry and Holly Willoughby were viewed as the best well-known neighbour. So Mark Wright is a decent neighbour according to this. Maybe he's sort of grown out of his laddiness and become a decent person. I don't know him. What do you reckon, eh? Who do you want to live next door to? Or who don't you want to live next door to? That's a good question, isn't it, eh? Jason says Gemma Collins would be okay to live next door to. Very handy when you want to roll your lawn. Get over there. On and back and forward like that. Oh, dear. Oh, is it the woods? Oh, no. I'm not sure he means those woods, Rachel. I know the woods, the woods you mean. I know the public toilet you mean. Strangely enough, I do know that particular public toilet. I just want to point out at this point, I don't know all the public toilets. It's not somewhere that I usually hang around. Only when desperate. But no, it's not that woods. I think there's another woods up the road. I know where you mean, the Kinnemar in the woods. That's with its road that goes round to the Kinnemar. We'll just have a look at the text this morning. Good morning to Maureen. Excellent. Good morning to Stephen Petty. He's got his water bottle in the post. Morning to you, Maureen. Morning, Stephen. Texting in there. The texts are a little bit... I've noticed that the texts are coming extremely slow at the moment. I don't know why. Sometimes immediately. Sometimes 3 hours later. And I have no idea why that is, I'm afraid, boys and girls. Maybe I'll try another network. The text number is a Vodafone one. All right. Andy's got to go to the loo. Off you go, Andy. Go on, chop-chopped here. Yeah, the other woods. Okay. So you've come into Woodall Spa. Shops either side, pub on the right. Car park on the left where you would turn down to go to the Woodall Spa Woods. Don't go there. Carry on going forward. Okay? On the main road. It's quite a way. It's through the village, up like quite a windy hill, and it's on the right. And I think you can pull your car in there and sort of walk about there. It's a bit bigger, that woods. Morning to Sherry DMP. Good morning, Sherry. How are you today, darling? All right? Is John not up yet, darling? Where's John? No John yet. I was watching one of your videos today, Sherry. This morning, actually, before we started. I made notes. Of course I made notes, dear. One moment. It was the video you were showing statues and, what was it? Sculptors. It was, she's done a video of, I think it's Vigeland. Vigeland. Vigeland Sculpture Park, which is in Norway. And she's put a little video together. It's mainly photographs that she's put together with some music. My favourite part of that was the Great Fountain, Sherry. So there we are. Sherry DMP, she's got her own little YouTube channel there. Have a look at that. Beautiful sculptures and a wonderful fountain. And then there's a sculpture of loads of babies kind of climbing over each other on a pole type thing. Thank you. Mike says you'd be a nice neighbour, Chris. I think I would be, Mike. I hope I would be. I'd certainly worry if you could hear anything that I was doing. You know, I wouldn't want to be a noisy neighbour. Well, I hope not anyway. When you go away, I'll water your plants. Yeah, I think so. Thank you. Dylan's just sent an email in. It's a bit weird. I'll have a look at that a little bit later on then. All right. Oh, there's John Paris. There's John Paris there. Okay. Right, what else have we got here? Littering, you know what I'm like. I am a womble now. I go around picking up other people's litter. It's all right. Doesn't bother me. I quite like it when I can walk an entire length of road and there's not a single piece. Don't happen very often. Got another area to do today. But this is the sort of thing that can happen. In the Daily Mail today, a fox has been found drowned in a lake after it got its head stuck in a crisp packet bag and fell in a lake. Grisly pictures, which I won't show you, of the wild animal laying on its side in the water have been shared online as a warning against littering. I noticed actually Bracknell Council, which is where my house is down south, they've done this big email out thing now about littering, and it's got, I don't know why, it seems to have got pretty bad in the last 6 months. Maybe something to do with lockdown, I don't know, or maybe areas that didn't used to get litter are now getting it where it was already in certain other areas. Certainly around the back of my house, I know that at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, new items of litter will have appeared. Why? Because the kids came out of school, they went to the co-op, got some sweets, ate them on the way and chucked the wrappers on the ground. Do the schools not tell them not to drop litter? My mum used to. She used to go mad if I dropped so much as a little sweet wrapper like that. And even then, it wasn't too bad because most of them were paper. Now they're plastic. Be there for another 1,000 years. Anyway, this poor little fox, the body of the fox was discovered at a lake in Apex Leisure and Wildlife Park in Burnham-on-Sea, which is in Somerset. That's where Mark Bowles lives, isn't it, Somerset? Are you near there, Mark, that place? The lake is often visited by fishermen and children visiting ducks. The poor fox got its head stuck in a crisp bucket and fell into the water at the apex. And the photo has angered many people. Oh, there is a picture there. I'm not going to show it to you. But his poor fox is all bloated out where all the water's gone in, you see. It says there's a lot of litter at the apex because it's so popular. And, you know, it's the smallest piece of litter that can do so much damage. When I walk along these things and I pick up the cans, which are the most obvious things, cans, sweet packets, large things, but they also pick up small items. One small plastic wrapper, you imagine like a dog or something like that swallowing that, and it gets stuck. Or sometimes the councils, they come and cut the lawn, don't they, or the sides of the road. What's that called? The verge, with those wheeling cutting machines. And sometimes they cut up a tin can. And there you can see bits of tin can on the floor. Jagged edges. Only small pieces, but nevertheless, tin cans. You imagine a little animal swallowing that. Even a tiny piece. A bird might think that it's a seed or something and pick it up. Nope, I picked those up as well. All the little bits as well. Because they can be just as dangerous as the big bits. Pieces of twine. I was going to say the stuff fishermen use, but actually, you don't find... If there's like a fisherman's area, and my nephew told me why this was, if there's like a bit of fisherman's area, which we have along the river, we have fishing bits where they've got like, where the river, so you've got the river and then the bank, right? And there'll be a little cutout and you can walk down there and there might be a little bit of wood there for people to sit on. I think people have to pay for that, I think. They have to pay to sit there, maybe individually or an annual license. If you're a fisherman, you'll know that. But around those areas, you tend not to find any litter at all. Because, and my nephew told me, fishing, you'll find that fishermen pick up everything that they've taken with them and take it home again. Now and again, I expect they miss a little piece of twine, or perhaps they've been fishing and a piece, I don't know if it's possible somehow, for a piece of twine or whatever that stuff is, fishing line, to break off in the water. And again, small piece of fishing line, a bird or a swan or something like that could eat that. You know? Or, again, I've seen twine wrapped around swans' heads. They can't get it off. And you won't be able to get it off the swan, I'm afraid, because it won't let you anywhere near it. So what happens? They die. It's horrible. But even the smallest piece of plastic, you know, gets down the throat of a child. That child will end up in hospital. You know what children are like. They eat everything, don't they? Like dogs. Oh, that looks like a nice remote control. It's terrible, though. That poor fox. I do feel sorry for that. Ah, yes, the Burnham is about 40 miles away from Mark. Thank you, Mark. There you go. Thank you, Jeff. That's very kind of you to say that. A sound neighbour. I was watering your plants yesterday, actually, Jeff. Your plants have been watered again. The what are those climbing? Sweet peas look like they might have had the best time now. Didn't quite get them in early enough for them to flower there. But they look like they're kind of falling off the climbing thing now. I think they might have gone past their time, haven't they? Sherry DMP, they were a bit late joining the show this morning because they were chatting with her family in the Philippines. Oh, is that right? Oh, maybe I'll make a phone call now to my sister, see how she's getting on. Yeah, well, I mean, if you got the time, spend time talking to your family and friends as well. I mean, I might as well spend time talking to my mightn't I? You just talk amongst yourself. You see what I mean? It's unbelievable, isn't it? Rather than sit there and watch the show, she's talking to her family in Philippines. Rude. And after all those mentions I give on your channel, shocking. Very disappointed. Very disappointed, Sherry. Very, very disappointed, darling. Shania's had to do some housework. What's happened to the clock? I've just done it there to upset the OCD people because they hate it. Oh, look, Mick's upset now because the clock is crooked. Rachel wants a pet fox. Tame as dogs if you have them from a cub. As I've heard, yeah, I've heard that actually. Now, I'm moving this back for you, Shania, not for Mick, because I've done it specifically to upset him. Oh, do you know what we can do now? I nearly forgot. We can now turn on the light in the caravan. Just a moment. There you go. Look, the light is on. I bought new batteries. I just don't care anymore. I've thrown care to the wind. I've bought some batteries, some new batteries for my little caravan as gifted to me some time ago now. We've got new batteries in the caravan lights. So let's put someone in charge of caravan lights. Hang on. Who shall we put in charge of caravan lights? Let's see. I think John Parrish actually. John Parrish. John, if you see that caravan up there and the lights are not on, please tell me. Because sometimes I do. There's so much to do before you start a show. Just let me know, okay? There we are. Boris has said fox hunting is exempt from the rule of 6. Should be banned, full stop. It is a cruel sport. Any sport that goes around hurting animals for fun. Fox hunting, bullfighting. What's all that about? Bullfighting, don't make me laugh. They got no chance whatsoever. You hurt the bull to make it run at you, and then when it's running at you, if you are losing, someone comes along and shoots it. Hardly fair, is it? Huh? What's that other thing? Is it Spain? They chuck donkeys off the tops of churches. What's all that about? They chuck donkeys off the tops of churches. We're not innocent. We got fox hunting here. England doesn't do anything like that. They love their animals. No, they don't. Fox hunting goes on here. And then we got I think it's Norway or Denmark, one of those two countries, where they trap all these dolphins in a thing, like a water bit. I don't know what you call it now. Like a section of water, and then they put a barrier up or something. They trap them in there, and then all the young Norwegian men goes in and kicks the hell out of them to make it look like they're a man, to prove their manhood. There's some terrible things go on in this world, it really is. Anyway, I hope that's all right for you now, Shania. I've made it straight now. It's the only straight thing in this room, I'll tell you that now, my loves. Boom, 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 boom. One moment, please. What's this here? Katie Price. Now, this is hardly surprising. Why doesn't this surprise me, this story? Katie Price is so-called mucky mansion because it's dirty, isn't it? Her ass is dirty. Funny that, isn't it? You can imagine that. I'm sure most of these girls who have got 10 inches of makeup, I've seen it with my own eyes on various YouTube channels. These girls who come on the screen, oh, hello, welcome to my channel, smiley, happy face, 10 inches of makeup on, nails done, And today I'd like to tell you, I'm selling some pens today, and all these blokes buy these pens. Why do they buy the pens? Because they like the pens? No, they think by buying a pen of someone that they think is quite fit on the telly, they're going to be in with the chance. Guess what, mate? No, you aren't. But I reckon a lot of these girls have got filthy, dirty, stinking homes. And Katie Price is one of them. You know the sort. Katie Price's so-called mucky mansion, it says in the Daily Mirror, has reportedly become overrun with doggers. Oh, God's sake. Shania, do you have any of this on the Isle of Wight? I hope not. Is it a Catholic island? It is a Catholic island, isn't it, the Isle of Wight? Am I correct in thinking that? It's been overrun with mad doggers who are romping within the grounds. The property has been empty for months after Katie moved into a rented mansion in Surrey. How the hell did she get there? Surrey? I would have thought Claire and her friends would have blockaded every road trying to get in there, dear. Hurry. In Surrey, they could have shipped in some of those lovely people from Hong Kong who were setting up roadblocks trying to stop the rest of them getting in there, hadn't they? How could you ever let Katie Price go and move into Surrey, people? And right next to Berkshire as well. Can't wait for the lockdown so she can't move around. As she's able to move around with those fake breasts hanging on the floor like her bum does. Oh, God. Anyway, it's been empty for months after Katie moved into a rented mansion in Surrey so that renovation work could be carried out. Oh, she's having something else done to her face, is she? Oh, sorry, that's the property. Silly old me. The Mum of Five's home has already been raided. The Mum of Five, with several different fathers, has already been raided on more. How many fathers are there, actually, to her children? Yes, 1, 2, 3. The Mum of Five's home has already been raided on more than one occasion, with Katie believing she was targeted by crooks. No, darling, you weren't targeted by crooks. Desperate men who can't find it anywhere else. That know that you won't say no, my love. And now it's said that her land has been taken over by doggers and swingers, according to the Daily Star. The publication says posts on an online swingers forum is inviting people to head to Katie's home to get, quote, their rocks off. And that people are even inviting Katie to join. Oh, she'll be straight there. People are even inviting Katie to join in on the sordid activities happening at her £2 million home in Horsham, West Sussex. Horsham? How is anyone allowed her to buy a house in Horsham? She's been invited along. One person wrote on the members-only forum, anyone for outdoors? There's a few places near Katie Price's pad that are very secluded and great fun. Message us to hook up. Now, there's a picture of her house here. It does look completely unloved. I'm sorry. One moment, please. Looks like an old witch's house that's fallen apart, doesn't it? Don't look that nice. I'm sorry, it doesn't. Look at the... Can you see the steps? Look how dirty they are. Place is filthy. I bet it's alive in there. Ghastly. Oh, there she is. What is he doing with... I mean, look at him. He's gorgeous. Why are you there? Wonder. Well, she must have found a new trick to do that she ain't done with anyone else. Or maybe she just tries them all again. There you go. Isn't he gorgeous? Can I just make this... I'm just going to make this picture look a lot better. One moment. Oh, that's better. That's better. What you doing with her, mate? Come on. Gorgeous. Oh. And of course, all the kissing, it's only ever done for the camera. She never actually loves anyone, does she? It's like a revolving door. Next! Like one of the rooms at Chariots. Another person posted on this forum, anyone dogging around the Sussex... I thought it was something to do with walking dogs. Till I looked it up. It's not. Anyone into dogging around the Sussex area? Me and my hubby have got up to some naughtiness near Katie Price's place. Naughtiness? Imagine if Jordan had joined in. Imagine if Jordan had joined in. That would have been epic and mega mucky, says this bloke. A string of replies to the post saw people boasting that they'd already done it on the grass surrounding Katie's home. Oh, perhaps that's why it's so worn out. And that they were planning to meet up for some more romps after lockdown lifts completely. Well, I hope they've got masks on. 6, no more than 6 at a time. I'm sure she's done more than that. One user wrote, funny you should say that, there's a group of us who have already sneaked onto Katie's patch last week. What do they mean by that? For some tickling and lots of slapping. We've made that place muckier than she ever could. Dreadful people. In Horsham. Horsham. There's no hope for any of us, really, is there? You get that sort of thing happening in Horsham. Very, very worrying, dear. Anyway, that's Katie's house there. Mikey Mike doesn't have a problem with doggers or swingers. Yeah, we know why that is, Mikey. You're out there with a camera, filming it and sending it up to YouTube, dear, to get more viewers. Know your game, mate. Dreadful. Look at you. All of you. Terrible people. Nothing wrong with an outdoor romp, says Mick Davenport. Or maybe not, but certainly not with you, dear. Oh, my word. Was the local vicar invited along? Anyway, see if we can find out the address of that. All right. There's another story about Meghan and Harry here. It's a very sad story. Do you have a tissue available? Do you? It's terrible. Terrible news for Meghan and Harry. In the Daily Mirror, Meghan and Harry may only be able to get to only $250,000 per speaking event. Oh, what a shame. I was hoping to get them in here for that. They may only be able to get £250,000 per speaking event instead of $1 million dollars, an event manager has claimed. The international consultant said the couple's alleged list of strict demands, which includes who introduces them, may put some clients off booking them for events. Oh, you can imagine the list, can't you? She would have gone through this list of people and only chose woke people, you know. I'm not so sure Jim Davidson would be there introducing them. Not sure if they're going to choose him. It'll be someone like, who's the little Swedish bird? What's her name? Oh, how dare you, how dare you. What's her name? Greta Thunberg. That's who they want to introduce. Please welcome. Oh, hello. Hello. I want to introduce people to you now. They are very good people. They don't use electricity, and that's why you can't hear me, because I don't have an amplifier or a microphone. There are no lights. Please welcome Harry and Meghan. I wonder how they'd come on. Is there like a jingle? Da-da-da-da-da-da. Harry comes on. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Shut that door and enjoy the generation game. Hello, everyone. Meghan will be waving as well. Please welcome your wokeness, Meghan Markle. And then you know he'll be running on after him, don't you? The father. That wonderful father she's got. Such a loving character. Desperate for a bit of attention he is. Thomas. Perhaps they could make a cartoon series, couldn't they? Harry and Meghan and Tom. Tom and Meghan. Be like Tom and Jerry, but without a cat. Speaking from New York, the event creator told The Sun Harry and Meghan coming on the speaker circuit is certainly as significant as the likes of President Obama, now we like him, or Arnold Schwarzenegger. The pair are fascinating, uniquely experienced individuals who have a wide reach, who would have a huge draw to a live audience. The manager said previous estimates that the couple's earning would be between $750,000 and $1 million, but realistically, the real amount could be between $250,000 and $400. Oh dear. How are you going to survive on that? Only $250 every time you speak to someone. Sometimes I get a fiver. How do I get £250,000 per show? Is that possible to do that? What do I have to do for that? Da 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 ba 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 ba. No? Okay. It says, while every speaker has a right to demand the perimeters of the appearance, as the price increases, so does the expectations of the clients. Of course it would do. The contract paperwork appears to read that the speakers have full control of their client's event. It certainly raises eyebrows and will put off many potential large corporations. According to a document issued by Harry Walker Agency, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex demand to know who will moderate their on-stage discussions and who has previously spoken at events they are booked for. So they're going right into it, aren't they? Oh, he doesn't look very happy. I'm sorry, he doesn't look very happy. In this photograph, he doesn't. You tell me if you think he looks happy in this photograph, dear. Look. Does he? Doesn't look happy, does he? She looks happy. He don't. He looks like he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders. Oh, Harry, I do worry about him. Anyway, they got their Netflix thing as well, haven't they? That's coming on soon, isn't it? Andy says, you're not cheap. I am very cheap, darling. Rachel says, I don't talk a lot, but I'll speak any crap for £250,000. Oh, it's not good, is it? They're not coming back to the UK, are they? Andy says. No, I don't think so. I have sussed you out, Mike Responto. Taking your photographs and making films at these dogging sites. Dirty old man. Could you send me a couple of the videos to watch later? Because I've got nothing to watch tonight. It's Saturday tonight, isn't it? Saturday night on BBC One. Starts off at 5:30 with Final Score, followed at 6 o'clock by The Dick Emery Show. At 6:30, tonight's episode of Doctor Who. At 7:15, we've got Bruce Forsyth's Generation Game, followed at 8:30 by tonight's Duchess of Duke Street. At 9:30, the Saturday night evening news, and at 10 o'clock, we've got Parkinson, followed at 11 o'clock by Film 2020. Programmes tonight on BBC One. Oh, that TV schedule in the 70s and 80s. Nothing could dent BBC One's viewing figures in that time. What have we got now? What's on tonight? There's an episode of Casualty next week, all right? How exciting. As you know, I'm not a dead animal eater, whether that be little animals walking around on land or fishy type things. Anything with a face, I don't eat it. But when you eat something, you know, perhaps it's an idea to do something with every other part of that poor little animal's body. Everything. And a French company in the Daily Metro, the London Metro. Is it just London or does it go nationwide? I don't know. I get it all online, don't I? In the Metro this morning, a French company is taking upcycling to a new level by using fish skins that would otherwise have gone in the bin and turned them into leather. Oh yes, what a great idea. The salmon skins, which were destined for restaurant bins, are being used for high-end watch straps and wallets. It says, while it might seem, I hope they don't still smell. Some standing to someone on the train or something. They smell a bit fishy. Perhaps they've got a salmon coat on. The salmon skins, which were destined for restaurant bins, are being used for high-end watch straps and wallets. While it might seem like a bizarre new trend, using fish skins for leather is actually an age-old craft. It's just never been used in mainstream fashion. However, with its environmentally friendly benefits, we could soon be seeing more of it. 3 friends behind the company, called ICTYOS, ICTYOS, are determined to make this process become more acceptable within the fashion industry. Now, you see, the point is, if you're going to eat fish, then you've got this stuff to throw away, haven't you? Well, why not turn it into something else? I go along with that. I go along with that, absolutely. It's just a terrible waste to eat a bit of it and then chuck the rest away. Well, you know. The co-founder of the company said salmon skin has a suppleness and a finesse. Finesse, I beg your pardon, is it a finesse? A finesse. It's less than 0.5 millimetre thick, but with a resistance which is nearly equivalent to cow leather. It has a grain which is more marked, with scales that are a bit reminiscent of lizard. Visually, it's quite exotic. They've been given a 6-month run inside a startup incubator run by fashion giant LVMH. I don't know who they are. LV's, is that Louis Vuitton? Oh, here we are. I thought so. Owner of brands like Louis Vuitton and Christian Dior. The hope is that eventually the incubator graduates can land deals with LVMH fashion houses. And I'm looking at the stuff there. They got watch straps. They look quite nice. I can't say they don't, you know. There's a definite look to scale on it, but I think that's actually quite nice, don't you? Anyone who likes a bit of fashion. Don't know how much something like that would cost. Probably talking hundreds of pounds, maybe thousands, I don't know. Why you want to spend hundreds or thousands of pounds on a little strap, I do not know. Or diamonds, or gold. Waste of money. It seems the company isn't the first to experiment with using food waste to make clothing and accessories. Someone's used avocado pits. The avocado stones are used to create a dye for clothes and bags, with each one using about 5 pits to transform its colour. So they've tried it with other stuff as well. But there you go. Salmon leather. That's an interesting thing, isn't it, really? Salmon leather. Rachel is actually very quiet. Ask my husband. He's a silent viewer. Is he really? I didn't know your husband was watching as well, Rachel. Good morning to Rachel's husband. Morning to you. Right, more stories. Starbucks. Do you go there? Now, let me just warn you here. If you go into a restaurant or a tea place or something like that and they give you a cup of tea in a paper cup, it may be that you don't hold the paper cup too hard, because I know exactly what's happened here. Just to warn you, the tea might be a bit hot. It just might be a bit hot, your cup of tea or your coffee that's been given to you in a little paper cup. In the Daily Mirror, this is an America warehouse. This bloke, 24 years old, he's suing Starbucks. A Starbucks customer is suing the coffee giant, claiming his genitals are scarred for life after they severely burnt by the scalding hot tea. This bloke, 24, said the lid to a defective takeaway cup popped off and the drink spilled onto his body while he was sat in his car at the drive-through window. No, it didn't. You held the cup too tightly. It's a paper cup, you idiot. It's a paper cup containing extremely hot liquid. He's done it himself. Hasn't he? Absolutely. The lawsuit says he was in extreme pain. I'm sure he was. As he pulled into a car park and pulled off his trousers, which were soaked in tea. Perhaps he was going to that dogging area that Katie Price is owning. Something like that, is she? Was soaked in tea and was served at a temperature of almost 100 degrees centigrade. Of course it was. It's tea. That's what you do. You put boiling water on, the kettle boils, it clicks off, and you immediately, with no delay, put that boiling hot water onto the tea bag. Otherwise, it doesn't work properly. This is why they can't make tea in many countries. None of the European countries can make tea. None of them. Neither can America. You'll be all right in Australia. The Caribbean countries seem to be able to do it all right. You've got to put boiling hot water on it. Starbucks can do it. They do it, right? Did it not occur to you that the water might be hot in that cup of tea that you've just ordered, idiot? He claims he can't do it anymore because it's painful, you know. Hang on, let's have a look at a picture of him. Oh, no. Oh, it's not too bad. Yeah, I suppose so. Photos show the dad from one in California with burns to his hands, and his lawyer claims he spent 11 days in a burn unit and had to learn how to walk again. Well, I mean, it's your fault. How can a cup be faulty? You've picked it up like that, haven't you? It's a paper cup. He bought 2 grand-sized honey citrus mint teas, one for him and one for his missus in the drive-thru in Roseville at Starbucks on the outskirts of the state capital. He suffered severe burns as a worker passed the second cup, which had a sleeve and a lid, to him through the window of his BMW. The federal lawsuit states, as the window associate reached to the SUV's window sill to deliver the second sleeved and lidded cup, the lid lost its seal with the cup lip and dislodged from the top of the cup. Someone's holding it, either him or the person delivering it to his window. Someone's held it too hard. That's why the lid's come off. It's covered in scalding tea, which is not a pleasant experience. Unable to open his door to escape because he was near the drive-through window, the bloke quickly put the SUV into gear, accelerated from the window. He then pulled into an adjacent parking lot and quickly took off his sweatpants. Oh, painful, painful. That's nasty, isn't it? He had to have a lot of care in there, which is not to be joked about. But it's got to be his fault, isn't it? He's picked up the thing too much. Are you for real? Paul Adamson, boiling water. Good tea needs water at 96 degrees, not 100 degrees centigrade. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Now, Paul, am I correct in saying you're in the Netherlands? There you go. I rest my case. You can't make tea. It's got to be boiling water on tea, Paul. See? You're part of the problem, darling. Hey, John's just made his 5th mug of Yorkshire tea this morning. I'm addicted to it. I've got Yorkshire. Actually, I'm just about to go on to Yorkshire tea, John. I've got Yorkshire. Shall I get it for you? 1 moment, please. Look, John. Look, John. Oh, hang on. I'm just about to go on to my Yorkshire loose leaf tea. About another 3 days left of the other tea, and what's that over there? There's a. Do you know, it looks like there's a cat over there. What is that in my window? Where's that come from? Looks like there's a cat over at my window. I'm going to have to go and see what that is. I've no idea what that is. It's inside. Looks like there's a cat. Hang on. Looks like there's a cat. Oh, I know, it is a cat. It's a cat light. A cat light. Cat light. Rachel has PG tips. That's what I've got at the moment, Rachel, but I'm nearly run out. So I'm on to Yorkshire tea next. Yes. Loose, no tea bags, dear. We do it properly here. Tea leaves, thank you very much. Best tea is Rington's tea. I haven't tried that one. I haven't tried Rington's. Good morning, Cycle Ranger. Paul's other half. Thanks for telling him that. I've been saying it for years. Yeah, 100 degrees. That's what the water's got to be. 100 degrees, boiling, preferably still bubbling when you put it on the tea bag. Literally, oh, that kettle. Get ready. You know when the kettle's about to click anyway, don't you? Have you got a whistling one? Who's got a whistling one? Woo! It whistles, doesn't it? Yes. Hit him. Hit him, Cycle Ranger. Hit him. 96 degrees. Pfft. Planet is he on? Has he been having the funny pills again because you all smoke that stuff over there, don't you? Yeah, man. 15 days past, they ain't got a clue where they are. That's all the people in Norway. Michael Palmer has been burnt by Macca's hot tea. The lid fell off and it landed in my lap. Oh, Michael. I feel for you, I really do. Is the 3-hour show too long for you, Mick? I'll tell you what. Go and have a cup of tea then. Here, take yourself away from that computer screen for a while. Go and have a cup of tea if the show's too long for you, Mick. All right, darling. No problem. I'm here to help. Andy Tetley, make tea bags, make tea. That's what I have. Oh, tea bags, Andy. It's very chavvy, Andy. Tea bags, dear. Tea leaves, dear. You want a little pot. Little pots. Do it. I bet John Aitken don't use tea bags. I bet he don't use tea bags. He's got proper little china set with hand-painted periwinkles. Am I right, John? Have you got a little tea set from Selfridges? In a little wicker basket. I want one of those. Last time, I haven't been in Selfridges for over a year now, and we went round the crockery department. And they've got the most wonderful little sets of cups and plates and things like that there. We love it. Oh, dear. Oh, dear me. John Parrish, when I worked at Lloyd's TSB, all vending machines had the temperature adjusted to 90 degrees to prevent ongoing claims for the burnt willy story. Oh no! Yeah, but you don't get a decent cup of tea. The problem is they got rid of all the tea ladies. Oh, let's save some money by getting rid of the tea lady in firms and all that, didn't they? Replaced by crap machines with these plastic cups. Horrendous. Oh well, good. I love to see it. Fun things to do with tech. I have a teapot and a loose tea travel flask. Oh, I don't know what that is. A loose travel. I'll have to look that up. Just a moment, please. In fact, I'll look that up now. Jesus, my Lord, my God, my all. Oh, yes, a thermos infuser. Well, I haven't seen one of those before. A tea infuser. Thermos. By Shell Go Tea. How wonderful is that? Shell Go Tea thermos flasks. £18. I think I might need one of those. Thank you very much for that information there. I love it. It's Amsterdam where the potheads are and a few shepherd's bush. Oh, Christ, shepherd's bush, dear. The more pot smoked round there than in Amsterdam, I'm sure, from that disgusting smell what comes in my car as I'm trying to drive around that ghastly piece of grass. Dear me. Tea leaves in a pot. Thank you very much, John. I knew it, you see. I knew it. Britain's dullest man. How many dull people do you know? There's a few on this channel. There's one that isn't here today. He's incredibly dull. Incredibly dull. How many dull people do you know? I don't like dull. It's boring. That's why I go on about Gemma Collins. She's anything but dull, and Katie Price and people like that. They're not dull. You don't hear me mention people like Susanna Reid on ITV Breakfast Time, do you? You don't hear me, but she's a bit dull. Don't you think she's dull? I don't like dull. Who else can we think of? Oh, the miserable one on BBC Breakfast. What's his name? Not Dan, the other one. Charlie. Dull. Dull and miserable. We don't like dull. Well, Britain's dullest man has unveiled the international roundabout of the year. Oh my God. Britain's dullest man. Some people have got some strange hobbies. Britain's dullest man has unveiled the international roundabout of the year after a heated discussion in a pub. This bloke, Kevin Beresford, is famous for travelling the length and breadth of the country in search of the best roundabouts in the UK has to offer, Birmingham Live reports. He's a roundabout spotter. He spent 17 years in pursuit of junction perfection, it says in the Daily Mirror, and even founded the Roundabout Appreciation Society. He's 68, bless his heart, who has described himself as the dullest man in Britain, regularly creates calendars with pictures of his favourite roundabouts. I'm sorry, I'd rather have pictures of places like maybe where Katie Price has done it, you know. We could have a Mucky Manson in January, the beach in Barbados in February where she got married to that singer bloke, the Australian singer bloke, whatever his name is. He's quite good, you know. Peter Andrex. Peter Andrex. Isn't it funny they named toilet paper after him? Didn't they, Peter Andrex? Bless him. He also branched out into other avenues over the year. His latest project is a calendar dedicated entirely to car parks. I'm not joking. He's got a calendar out. Actually, that says 2016 on there. It says Car Parks of Britain. Good luck to him. I hope he makes a lot of money out of it. I really do. You see, now this is great. He's not dull at all. He's a character. I just know he's a character. And that's what we like. We don't like dull. And now the self-styled Lord of the Rings, along with other members of the Roundabout Committee, has revealed that they have selected their international roundabout of the year after a heated discussion in a pub, in the West Midlands town of Redditch. Describing how his fascination with the mundane started, Kevin said it started back in 2003. You get people that go on train stations to take their numbers down, don't you? On trains, train spotters. They literally go and buy their self. They don't do anything illegal. Each and every one to their own. They go and get a little car park, their little platform ticket. Did you know that? You can get a ticket to just go and stand on the platform. Doesn't cost very much, really. And you can just sit on the platform for hours on end if you want, taking the numbers of various trains that come past. I mean, I just don't know why you'd want to do something like that, but it's their thing. Why do people want to go around picking up other people's rubbish? It's just how it is, isn't it? He said, I was running a small printing company in Redditch each year. We would give a calendar to our customers. He said, for that particular year, we thought we'd do something a bit different. As a bit of a joke, they decided to go with the theme of roundabouts. However, he didn't anticipate how popular it would become. And again, this is another 2016 calendar here. I don't know if this is an old story or something. There you go. Roundabouts of the world. See, he's found something there that no one else does and has made money out of it. Blooming good luck to him. That's what I say. Perhaps I could do a calendar on items of rubbish found. Rubbish of Lincolnshire. What do you reckon? I'd take pictures of various pieces of rubbish that I discover. He got features on Graham Norton's show, and it went worldwide after that. He said we couldn't keep up with the requests for the calendars. It was an amazing experience. Wow. His favourites from the West Midlands, including Spitfire Island in Castle Bromwich, and one in Tewkesbury, which features a wooden horse statue. It has to be said, there's actually a roundabout in Ascot with a wooden horse on it, or a bronze horse, something like that, which you would have seen in the Bracknell opening video. When I'm back down south, which will probably be I've got to be back by Saturday because I've got a flu injection on Saturday. So I'll probably go home on Friday next week. I have to be there for Saturday morning, you see, as in next Saturday. And it goes on there. His previous endeavours include the best phone boxes of Wales and Birmingham's famous number 11 outer circle bus route, as well as football statues. So he just finds the straight different things and makes calendars out of them. Isn't that fascinating, man? Is that dull? Is that a dull thing to do? Do you know anyone dull at all? I don't know, dear. What else have we got here? Thank you, Mandy. I think you're absolutely right there, my love. I think a timeout is better. A little cup of tea. Send him, give him something to do. Bless his heart. Put the tea leaves in there and do stuff like that. Fun thing to do with tech always takes a knife, fork and spoon and a portable cup with a lid. I never have a problem here. Taking out your own knife and fork is decent, especially if you go to Trawler's Catch. Much like I love the food and the service in there, plastic knives and forks, I can't bear them. And you put that fork in and a prong will guaranteed to break off, isn't it? I highly recommend if you go to the Trawler's Catch for a delightful, very well priced, very nice meal, take your own knife and fork there and bring it home with you or something, you know. They did have wooden ones in there for a while, which were a vast improvement to these awful plastic things that they've got. Presumably they were too expensive and they went back to the plastic ones for some reason. Scrolling down. There we are. Scrolling, just scrolling. La 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 la. Anyone else saying anything there? Let me have a look. Does he wake the whole site up by revving his car up when he goes out? Who's that? Oh dear. We were talking about funerals earlier. I meant to come to this after that story and I completely forgot this story was here. How do you want to go out on your coffin? Nice bright coloured coffin or something traditional perhaps? Or maybe a wicker basket in a field of blueberries? Bluebells rather? Bluebells. A video of a woman twerking on top of a coffin has gone viral after being viewed. In the 24-second clip that's in the Daily Mail, a woman can be seen dancing on top of a wooden coffin, which is balanced on 2 motorbikes. Now you see, this is what I need. You know those little go-go boys that you find in some of the gay pubs dancing on the bars? That's what I want on top of my coffin. I don't know if Canon Simon will allow this. Perhaps I could ask for Shania's advice on this one, Shania. We've already mentioned I want 8 fit lads carrying me in. They don't have to have many muscles, just a little bit of definition, a little bit like the lads on TikTok. You know the ones I mean, Rachel. Okay? Something like that. Okay? But on top of the coffin, perhaps halfway through the mass, we could have go-go boys come out and start dancing on top of it to something like I Will Survive. Or one of my favourite songs of all time, which you may know, John. I don't know if John Aitken will know this one. Regina, Day by Day. Do you know that one? I want to live all my life. Day by day, I want to live all my life. Day by day, da-da-da-da-da. Do you know that one? Write that down, John. You'll like that. It's a wonderful song. It wasn't enormously popular. In actual fact, I never heard anyone else playing it, but it certainly became part of my sets on Saturday nights at the Black Cap. Used to love that song, Day by Day, by a singer called Regina. R-E-G, as in Regina Fong, actually. R-E-G-I-N-A. This woman in the video is dressed in a black top and jeans and is twerking on top of the coffin to the song Ella Queer Hum Ha Hum by reggaeton artist M. Kuduz in front of the cheering crowd. She also leans over to plant a kiss on the glass covering her loved one's face. Is that inappropriate or what? Why can't you just have what you want? At a funeral, you know? I think you should. Yeah, would you want that on your coffin? Mandy, can you see yourself doing that to Mick's coffin? Possibly be a little bit of a bigger box, I don't know, but there we are. Why is it cased in plastic? Why has it got plastic all over it? You notice that it's got plastic on it. Perhaps it's a new box. She's twerking on the coffin. She also leans over to plant a kiss on the glass for a loved one twice. The unusual funeral celebration was taking place in Manta in the province of Manabí, Ecuador. Ecuador. There was a good song. Ecuador by... Was it like a French name, wasn't it? Ecuador? Sasha? Oh, God, Ecuador. Who sung that one? Something de Mars? Can't remember now. The video was posted on Twitter using with the caption, "If your girl don't do this at your funeral, is she really your girl?" Would that be appropriate for something at my funeral? Should I please, as head of the Catholic Church? Perhaps you could let us know there. Eh? Well, I don't know. Oh dear. Buh, buh. Oh, look. Paul's looked up how to make tea. Twining's website says perfect cup of tea is not made with boiling water. Sent you a link on the text message. No, it's wrong. It's wrong. Proper tea is made with boiling water. How many people say proper tea is made with boiling water or not boiling water? Put your comments, yes for yes boiling water, or no for not boiling water. Stick them up there now and let's just have a count up. Denise, all coffins have a plastic bag. I worked in the funeral business for years. Oh, Denise. You're very dark, aren't you, Denise? I reckon. Dark person you are, my love. My Love Keely Rock reminds me of you at the Two Brewers. I played that song 2 or 3 times. I didn't like it, John. I really didn't like Keely Rock. I wasn't keen on that song at all, I'm afraid. Don't like it. It's a very depressing subject today, isn't it? What, funerals? No? Depends how you look at it. Yes, proper tea, water out the kettle. Yes, boiling. Paul Adamson says no, so there's one no. Boiling. Andy V, can't decide. Jason, boiling. There you go. Nope, Twining's website is wrong. Just because they make it don't mean they're right. Why would that mean they're right? One more story. There's some new chocolate coming. We mentioned this months ago, actually. Cadbury's were trying out new chocolate, and they found one they were going to go with. The Dairy Milk Crunchy Honeycomb Chocolate Bar features milk chocolate with golden, crunchy honeycomb pieces, caramel flavoured fudge, and chopped hazelnuts. And it's coming to a supermarket near you soon. Cadbury is launching a new chocolate bar in the UK after trialling 3 flavours, including coconut dairy milk back in July. They did coconut dairy milk, they did ginger, they did blueberry, and they did honeycomb. Now, I've got a blueberry bar in my fridge now, actually. I've tried the ginger one, which I finished, but I wouldn't buy it. Didn't like it, the ginger one. I tried the coconut one this week, which was quite nice. Haven't tried the blueberry one. Haven't been able to get hold of the golden honeycomb one. And all these were bought for me by my nephew as a gift this week, which was quite nice. 2 have already gone. I'm disappointed to say with myself, to be honest. It's going to be renamed to the Cadbury Dairy Milk Honeycomb and Nut Bar. Sounds absolutely delicious, doesn't it? Back in July it was, Cadbury released 3 new bars, coconut, blueberry and honeycomb, and just said one would become permanently available. It gave fans a month to vote for their favourite, which would then stay on supermarket shelves indefinitely. The crunchy honeycomb dairy milk was created by a 19-year-old student, Shannon, from Nottingham, as part of the company's Cadbury Inventor competition. I wonder what she won for that. Cost £1 back in July and expected to continue at this price when it returns to the public. Chocolate seems to be a lot cheaper than it was. Would I be right in saying that, do you think? £1 for a great big bar like that, you know, it does seem quite cheap chocolate now, doesn't it? It's going to come along in January. Also, they're not going to get it out by Christmas, which is a bit of a surprise. I would have bought something out like that around Christmas time. But we're looking for that one. It is still available at the moment while stocks last. That's the Cadbury Dairy Milk Honeycomb and Nuts Bar. But if you miss it, it will return in January next year, I suppose. I haven't seen it anywhere. I've looked for that and sadly not been able to find that anywhere. So maybe not. All right. Okay, boys and girls, so let's do today's raffle tickets. And then we'll do our little daily game of bingo. Our raffle is on Monday. You can win one of those. To win one of those, you'll need a raffle ticket. All you got to do now is say, ticket please, in the chat box, and I'll give you a raffle ticket. Or if you're one of our silent viewers, you can text in and ask for a raffle ticket. You have to do it only while the show is on. Okay, the phone number to text in is 07551 259 675. 07551 259 675 if you want to do that. Okay. Maureen, ticket number 238 for Maureen. 238 for Maureen. Jason Hughes, 239. Jeff, 240. Oh, Jeff, I looked on that. I tried to find the Ingemo's caravan spares, but of course there's 101 different types of door, isn't there? So we're not sure which sort of rubber thing. I put a note on a Facebook group, Pimp Your Static Caravan, and funnily enough, the bloke who put the doors in to a lot of the caravans on here has replied to me, asked for a picture, so I've sent him a picture, and I should be able to find which rubber seal to do, because I've got the seals, but both the doors actually, the seals are going on those. So I need to get those done so that the water don't come in. Thanks for your advice, Jeff. Jeff, ticket number 240. Denise, 241. Diane Jeb, 242. Colin K, 243. Michael Pullman, 244. Fran Green, 245. Tony King, 246. Marky Bowles, baby, 247. Andy. Gary Ross, 248. Rachel, 249. Mick Davenport, 250. Shania Steele, 251. Oh, sorry. No, Shania. 1 minute. Where's 251? There it is. There's our Shania, 251. She's been trying to win that fridge magnet all year, hasn't you, my love? 251 for Shania. Heidi Young. Good morning, Heidi. 252 for lovely Heidi. Ross Herndine, 253. It's a matter of interest. Do any of you sort of have the show on while you're doing stuff in the house? Like you just turn the volume up and listen. Just wondered. Just a matter of interest. Ross Herndine, 253. John Aitken, 254. Did you know that song I mentioned, John? We got 40. Oh, we got loads of likes today. Thank you very much for those. Very kind on your likes today, gang. Very, very kind. Thank you. That's lovely. Thank you. We do lose people after a while. I think they get bored of my voice. I do the same. I do the same with certain radio shows. Even I love people's voices. And some radio stations, I can't bear it. Is that everyone? Okay, if I've missed anyone out from the raffle tickets there, please speak now. Meanwhile, I'll just do today's birthdays. Happy birthday on the Saturday, the 19th of September 2020 to Nate. Hello, Nate. Nate McKay. Hello, Nate. Very good looking you are. Do you know that? Has anyone told you that before? Oh, yeah, I think so. Nate's 35 years old. Happy birthday, Nate. He used to come along to sing at the karaoke and then moved up north. Debbie Burke Scott. Hello, Debbie. Big happy birthday to you. And Rocky Harkis today is 29 years old. Happy birthday to each and every one of you on this Saturday morning. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Twice, coronavirus. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Just trying to see if we've missed anyone out there. Rachel sits in her chair and just enjoys the show. Housewife can wait. Just sit there and watch this all the time. Oh, so quite surprised about that. I thought a lot of people would be doing stuff, if you see what I mean, around the house. Hopefully not hoovering, because you won't hear it. John Aitken, that song I was talking about, Regina, Day by Day. Type it into the YouTube. It'll come up, Regina, Day by Day. She's a black lady, largest, usual hairdo, you know, like a diva type. She's fantastic voice she's got. Really good there. Jason's usually outside, sitting there eating a Greg's, are you really? I can believe that, actually. Mick sits there and watches the whole thing. Okay. Interesting. I thought people would sort of be doing something, if you see what I mean. Like when I have the radio on, I have talk radio on. I have a bloke called Mike Graham on, usually just a little bit after the show. When I've gone out for my walk or something like that, then I come in, and while I'm doing lunch, I'll have Mike Graham on, who's on LBC Talk Radio. Although not today, because it's Saturday. I don't know who's on today. Don't know who's on today at all. They've got a bloke on Talk Radio in the evenings now, or late night one. I think it's 10 o'clock job. Christo. Oh, I can't stand him. Always like a wet blanket. Proper left-wing bloke. Oh, just Christo. Can't stand his voice, dear. But, you know, we like who we like. It doesn't mean he's crap at the job. We just like who we like, don't we? You know? Alrighty. Let's do today's... What are we doing now? Bingo. It's time for bingo. Time for our daily game of bingo. Someone on this exciting programme today, someone is about to win an extra raffle ticket to have another chance to win one of our delightful little badges here. It was mentioned to me last night by my nephew that Denise Andrews keeps winning. Is that right, Denise? I hadn't noticed, to be honest. I didn't notice. Not Seraphine, no. But, oh, hang on a minute. I'll find you the link, dear. Oh, God, you've got to do it all yourself, haven't you, dear? Dear me, John. One moment, please. Because you don't play the bingo, do you? So you can have a look at this now. There it is. I want to live all my life, day by day. Da, 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 da. There it is. Oh, I love this. Day by day. Oh, hang on. Which mix do I want? Oh, just give you the original one. Dance Summit 1997. What's this? Oh, hang on a minute. Don't want sound coming through there, do we? Skip ad. That's the one. There we are. Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. Shut up. There it is. There you go, John. Little post for you there, my love. Oh, yeah, you might like that as well, Michael. It's a bit 90s. It's a 90s housey type thing. It's quite good, isn't it? Michael sits there watching the TV and me at the same time. Gosh. Heidi used to love Talk Sport through the night. Was great. James Wow, yes. And the Creatures of the Night. Ian Collins. Ian Collins, at the moment, he does occasional shows on Talk Radio, if I remember rightly. He seems to fill in, if I remember rightly. And he used to be on LBC. He was excellent. Ian Collins. Excellent broadcaster. And of course, Heidi, you'll remember the other bloke. He died. Oh gosh, he was on late night on Talk Radio. Oh, what is his name now? It was really bullshit. It was hilarious. He was hilarious, and he got killed in a car crash. It was always going on about speed cap. Mike Dickin. That's it. Mike Dickin. Mike Dickin. It was always going on about speed cameras. And people would ring him up, and it was perfectly in his right to say some of this. He'd be taking a few calls to people, and then you know when you got a sort of dodgy call. I mean, I tried to do a call-in show here before I think you came along, Heidi. Actually, we did try and do a phone-in show here, but frankly, the quality of the calls was absolutely abysmal. Most of them, they really were. You find people, you bring up 5 or 6 subjects. Because I I've got a lot of friends who work in radio, and I said, "Oh, I'm thinking about doing this phone-in show on YouTube." He said, "Well, good luck with that. You don't get many good calls." I said, "Well, go on then. What should I do?" So I just say, if you want to talk about... No, you get no calls. I said, "Okay, what do I do?" And my mate, who was it now? Sean, his name was. He used to be on Talk Sport, Talk Radio. Sean, oh, Lord, what's his name now? Sean. I can't think of his surname now, my mate Sean. Let me type. Sean... Oh, he's not there. Well, I hope I haven't been unfriended. How rude. I'm just trying to remember his name now. Sean, as in Sean. Oh, searching my friends, that's it. Come on. No results. How can there be no results in my friends? Oh, I don't know. I can't find him now. Anyway, his first name was Sean. He used to be on Talk Radio. He said, "No, get yourself some subjects to talk about, read out bits of the stories, and then open the lines, and it gives people an idea to talk." So I used to do all this preparation. I'd be half an hour, 3/4 of an hour, an hour, getting all these little stories together, similar as I do for this show. Okay? I used to read some of these stories and I'd say, "Okay, if you'd like to call in now, here's the phone number." Give out the number. "Oh, hello, who's that?" "Oh, hello, it's so-and-so." Okay? Dead silence. "What would you like to talk about?" "Oh, I just wanted to say hello." And 75% of the calls were like that, so I gave up in the end. Waste of time. There was an occasional good call. There were certain people who were very, very good on the phone. One of them being Roy Brownlow. We don't see him much on here anymore. But Roy Brownlow, he did very, very good calls. Very good calls indeed. Who else? I'm just trying to think of anyone else. Oh, Adam the plumber. He called in a couple of times. I'll be honest with you, went on a bit sometimes. But he was very good. He was very good. Couple of callers you had, but then you had the same person all the time. You know, even though perhaps Adam or Roy, even though they were good callers, that's all you were getting. There was never anyone new. It was always the same people who were good at the calls, which is all right if you've got like 50 people who are good at calls because you can rotate. It didn't really work. Didn't really work. I mean, I don't, as you well know, I don't need calls or messages to be able to do a show. I can sit here on my own completely happy and talk to myself for 2 hours or whatever. 2.5 hours. Well, it'd be 2.5 today, won't it? 2.5 hours. Doesn't bother me. And again, I was taught years ago by someone at BBC, actually, who I knew. And they said, you know, when you're going to do a show, radio show or something, now YouTube, of course, from radio to YouTube, when you're going to do something, you need to be able to do a whole show without any calls or any messages, because you might not get any. You might not get any. There was one bloke on LBC, oh my God, he was dreadful. This is about 15 years ago. I think it was a friend of Steve Allen's, actually, he'd got him in there and he gave him a show, right? And so if the show started, it was a late night one, so I think it started... I think in those days, the late night show started at 2 a.m. instead of 1 a.m. I'm not 100% sure of that. Anyway, so this bloke comes on. "Hello, I'm Mark Reardon," which is, of course, what Mark Bowles' name will be after we get married. I'm Mark Reardon. Welcome to LBC on this Saturday night. It's just coming up to 2 o'clock. And our phone number is 020, whatever it was, I don't know. Some of the things I want to talk about today. And he had a boring voice. So you didn't really want to listen to him. There was another bloke, Nick Majerison. He was on LBC as well. Oh, God, his voice. There's one on there at the moment, actually. Someone Stadlin. I can't remember his name now. I don't remember his name because I don't listen anymore. Can't stand his voice. And it's funny. You sort of connect yourself with some people and not others. There's a lady who watches Gary Owen's talk show. She don't watch this. She can't stand my voice. And it's funny how we all like different things, isn't it? That's not to say that particular person, like, for example, the Stadlin bloke, that's not to say he's not good at it. I just can't connect with that voice. Gets on my nerves. It grates on me. Then there was Nick Jerson. But this bloke who tried out on LBC, so he read these few stories out, and it got to about 2:15, 2:20. right, for a 4-hour show, and he had no calls. And you could hear him struggling. Right, so that's the Lake District story there. And if you'd like to call in, the phone number is here on LBC, where it's just coming up to 16 minutes past 2 o'clock. And we've got the news coming up at 2:30 with a short bulletin. Don't forget the phone number, 020... And then later on, our main bulletin, of course, at 3 o'clock with all the world and international news. That's here on LBC 97.3 FM. Phone number. And he was stuck. I'll never forget it. I was driving home from the Black Cap. It was a Saturday night. That's a long time ago, 15, 20 years. And I must say, I felt really sorry. I thought to myself, has anyone told him that you need to be able to do a show with no calls? Because that can happen. What if the phone lines break down? Nick Abbott, he does LBC. He's on tonight. Last night and tonight, 10 till 1. He's really quite left-wing, but he's all right. I used to be able to listen to him all the time until he went on Brexit and Trump and now the virus. On and on about how badly the government does about the virus. Well, we all know that. We all know that. They're doing the best they can, I think, personally. But on and on about the same subject all the time. And it's a shame, really, because he used to be quite funny. I found him very funny when I first started listening. But nevertheless, he's got a voice that you want to listen to, you know. And now and again, you can listen to his show and the phones break down. It always seems to happen to him for some reason. I don't know why that is. If the phones are going to break down, it will happen during Nick Abbott's show. But he doesn't need calls. And he says, oh, well, this is going to go well now. The phone lines are broken down. And now I can't get messages on the screen and I can't do Twitter. But it doesn't matter. He carries on doing the show. He can do it. This bloke who they had in, it was about 15 years ago, something like that. He had a 4-hour show to do. Started at 2 o'clock. And by 21 minutes past 2, he'd run out of stuff to say. I don't know what happened. I kept it on for a while. But all he was doing was saying, this is LBC and the phone number. I felt sorry for him, though. Why didn't someone tell him? You need to have a whole show standing by there in case something goes wrong. Even now, right? There's a couple of bits on here I haven't referred to yet. And there's 2 more news stories up there that I haven't done. All prepared, you know, just in case something goes wrong. Weird City, did you ever do pirate radio? Yes, back in the 1984, 83, 84, I did pirate radio. Oh no, earlier than that. 63, 73. About 1980, I had a pirate radio station, yeah. Yeah, I did have a pirate radio station. Radio 23, it was called. I could tell you the whole how I started the radio thing if you want, Weird C. Not today because it's a little bit too late now. Hello to Leo. Hello, Leo Wheatland. I would ring you, Chris, and you have a job getting me off the phone. I'm a right chatterbox. Rachel is the quiet one. Is that right, Leo? Maybe we try it again in the future. I don't know. It's easy. It's quite easy to do. I have a Skype set up and it's got a number in. Actually, you can hear someone call. It didn't work for some reason on Tuesday. I think I've got some wrong setting somewhere. But on a Tuesday night now, at the end of our quiz, I get the manager to ring in and he tells us what the results are. Why has that computer suddenly gone mad? The fan suddenly sped up. It does worry me when I hear that, you know. It does worry me when I hear that. All right. Okie doke. Right, that's all the raffle tickets. That's the birthdays. Let's do today's bingo game, boys and girls. You've got your bingo tickets. Let's bring up the bingo board. Okay. You need to mark off all the numbers on your bingo tickets. As soon as you've won, shout bingo in the chat box. No four corners, no line, a full house. All the tickets numbers need to be marked off on your bingo ticket. Okay? When I see someone's won, I will stop the game. You then have up to 1.5 minutes to claim your prize. If for whatever reason we go over that 1.5 minutes, once I've called the next number, you're too late. Doesn't matter what the reason is. You broke down, anything like that. Doesn't matter. You must call within that 1.5 minutes. Okie doke. Here we go, gang. Eyes down. Here comes your first number on our daily game of bingo. 2 and 3, 23. 7 and 6, 76. 5 and 4, 54. I can put a link to that park nest in a moment if you want me to, I think. I'll try anyway. 1 and 2, 12. 1 and 8, 18. All on its own, number 7. All on its own, number 4. 1 and 6, sweet 16. 1 fat, morbidly obese, untalented Gemma Collins, number 8. All the 6s, clickety-click, 66. 3 and 8, 38. 4 and 5, 45. 5 and 6, 56. 7 and 5, 75. 2 fat, morbidly obese Gemma Collinses, no talent whatsoever, number 88. 2 and 5, 25. 2 little ducks, 22, quack quack. 3 and 5, 35. 6 and 7, 67. 3 and 7, 37. All on its own, number 1. 6 and 2, 62. 3 and 1, 31. 8 and 9, 89. 1 and 9, 19. 19 and a 19. 19, 19. 7 and 1, 71. 2 and 8, 28. 6 and 8, 68. 7 and 8, 78. 4 and 9, 49. 8 and 6, 86. 5 and 2, 52. All on its own, little number 6. 4 and 6, 46. 6 and 5, 65. Unlucky for some, 1 and 3, 13. Wednesday. 5 and 9, the Brighton line. Woo, woo. 7 and 4, 74. 4 and 8, 48. 5 and 7, 57. 8 and 3, 83. Seven and 9, 79. All on its own, number 3. 6 and 9, 69. 3 and 4, 34. 2 and 7, 27. I think we're going to Saturn-on-Sea this week. My nephew's wife was saying. Saturn-on-Sea, I think we're going. Is that nice there? Yeah, William Wright is the host. 6 and 1, 61. Did I do 2 and 7, 27? Yeah, 6 and 1, 61. 5-0 blind 50. Who's going to win? Ooh. 5 and 8, 58. 6 and 3, 6. 63. 6 and 4, 64. 3 and 9, 39. All the 5s, 55. 8 and 2, 82. 2 and 1, 21. We are functioning within normal perimeters. Order 4, 44. 4 and 2, 42. 5 and 1, 51. 8 and 7, 87. 3 and 2, 32. All the 7s, 77. 2 and 4, 24. 2-0, blind 20. 4 and 1, 41. 7 and 2, 72. 8-0, blind 80. 2 and 9, 29. All on its own, number 9. Oh, it sounds windy out there. All on its own, number 5. 8 and 1, 81. Is it windy today, Rachel? 4 and 3, 43. 3-0, blind 30. 7 and 3, 73. Boris's Den, number 10. We have a winner on number 10, boys and girls. A winner on number 10. Let's bring up the bingo clock. I wonder who are winners today. Winners. I'll have a quick look for that thing for him. Oh, you found it, have you? Oh yeah, baby. Oh. Oh, there it is. There's little me. It's me. One moment. Come on, who's won? There you go. Yeah, Mike Reese is